play just 4 hours on PokerBlue.com and qualify for our weekly free roll to win your choice of a seat at the World Poker Tour, the World Series of Poker, or, if you dare, a seat at Poker Blue's high-stakes whale game here on Live at the Bike. Get in on the action now because these free rolls are so small that they redefine the term overlay. To qualify, open an account on PokerBlue.com with $100. Then play 4 hours at $1 and $2 limit or any no-limit game. You can even start playing right now while watching Live at the Bike. Just click the PokerBlue.com banner on the right of your screen or log on to PokerBlue.com, bonus code BIKE. And don't forget, every week you play 4 hours gives you another chance to win.
James. Yeah. Good.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live at the Bike. We apologize. We had some technical difficulties in the beginning of the show, but we're ready to go here. We had actually done about 15 minutes of the show, and then we realized that the show hadn't been streaming.
Yeah.
So that's why we were on such a delay. Look at this. Tim Fan has just stepped into the game here. Of course, people that might be familiar with the World Series of Poker. And we're going to get into this hand. I'll just walk through the hand right now, but Vic has got ace-king over there on the button.
That's in seat 3.
Yeah, the board is king, 4, jack. Tim Fan's got queen 9.
Queen 10.
Queen 10.
Queen 10.
He's got an open-ended straight draw. He just came into the game.
Look at that wad of cash. And all the chips are in. So we have an open and straight draw, top pair, top kicker.
So this is about a $10,000 bot right off the bat here.
How many you want to run it? I did 3 or 1. 3 or 1?
And Vic says I'll run it 3 times or 1 time. We're talking over a $10,000 pot here to start off the night. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. Open-ended straight draw against ace-king. And they're going to run it 3 times. Well, turn is an 8, and the river's a 4. Vic wins the first one. 10 on the turn, river king. Vic wins the second one.
Right.
Turn is an ace. There's the straight. So Vic is going to win 2 out of 3. He's going to win about $6,500 to $7,000.
Right.
And Tim is going to win about $3,000. And while they're figuring this out, let's go around and introduce the table.
Okay.
So in seat 1, we've got Yosh. In seat 2, we've got Mr. Kookaroo, Ken Berg, former owner of Kookaroo Chicken. Seat number 3, we've got Vic Park, professional high-stakes poker player. Seat 4, we've got Ed Shanazirian. Seat number 5, we've got co-owner of the Lakers. He's currently away from the table right now, Frank Mariani.
Yes, I think he went to go get more money.
Seat number 6, we've got Action Joe Wynn. Seat 7, we've got professional poker player Tim Fan. In seat 8, we've got Avo. And in seat 9, the ever lovable Barry Don't Call Me Greenstein Woods.
You owe me $20. All right? Does that sound fair? Does that sound right to you? You should have twice as much as I have, pretty much. Yeah, but you want $20? Okay. No, we're not cutting it down. Yeah, no. All right, that's fine.
And the button is going to move over here to seat 5. So we're in for a great night here tonight, Shirley. Of course, it's Poker Blues Whale Night. And we'll go through that over the course of the night.
Not to rebuy, right? Yeah.
Button has moved over here to Joe Wynn in seat 6. Limp.
Hey, yo, what kind of rebuy for?
Limp.
Would you like that?
So, again, the structure of this game is 5,100 blinds. White chips are $100 chips. Pink chips are $50 chips. Light green ones are $1,000 chips, and the light purple ones are $5,000 chips. $5,000 buy in the first time, $5,000 first rebuy, and then you can buy 10 and then 20.
Right.
So it is a restricted buy and no limit game.
Right.
But, you know, if you go bust a few times, you can really rebuy.
Well, we know within that 15 minutes that we were showing, Frank Mariani did go bust.
Yep.
He had to go get more money.
Yep.
And then we also heard that Barry Woods had done a couple rebuys.
Yep.
And he has some chips in front of him, but I think he might be still losing a little, or might be just about even, not quite winning.
Now, Avo is going to bet 350 here on the flop. Vic is going to call. He's got an open-ended straight draw. And the river is a 6. And it looks like Avo's hand, he's made 2 pair and he's going to bet again. King's up. And he's going to take it down. And the button here moves over to seat 7.
Be a collection pot player.
And it is a collection pot.
Yeah.
Then it came a 7, and then it came another 7.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
So I finally found out about this collection pot.
Yeah.
Yes, it's $15 per half hour, but remember last week I was saying it's not multiples of 15.
Yeah.
They include some money for a jackpot drop.
Yeah.
So say, it's 90, the collection's like $105 because, there's a certain amount of players. And then they might make it $115 and put the 10 in collection.
Yeah.
And basically they said it's kind of whatever the Yosh and the floorman dictate is going to go in the jackpot. It's usually about $10 or $15.
Oh, there you go.
That's why it wasn't divisible by 15.
But of course, the collection pot, the pot has to be over a certain amount. Because Vic just
That's
raised
right.
here and he took it down without any.
And he will not pay it
And
this
then
time.
that's why we
It's
see the
gonna stay.
collection pot still up there.
Right.
In the on the table.
Yes, sir.
And the button here is in seat 8.
Okay. Is it right or I shorted you?
Limp. Fold there.
Option, yes.
And Yosh is going to have the option.
Why am I in that? 5 players.
Why not?
5-way action here. And here we go. Queen, Jack, 6. A couple people have top pair here with the queen.
Danger. That's dangerous. Very dangerous. I think so, yeah. I know.
Turn here is an ace. And it goes check, and the river's a 6. And this one's going to get chopped up here between Yosh and Ed.
Well, depending on the betting here.
Yosh is going to bet 600 here.
And knowing Ed, he will make this call.
Think so? Well, it is a chop pot. I mean, if Yosh
And
has
it
a
is
queen,
Ed. He calls.
he's going to make the call, and Yosh has got it. Or Yosh and Ed are going to chop. And queens and 6s with an ace kicker there. And there it is. Chop that baby up. And it's interesting. So now do they chop up the collection pot? Who pays the collection?
Oh. It goes, well,
Let me give you one of those.
I think that one
they
was
stuck
over.
the collection in front of Yosh.
Yeah.
And it looks like Ed threw him some money and Yosh threw him change. And
Yeah.
I can pull out that red 25 as I'm chipping.
And again, we do apologize for the technical difficulties we had in the beginning of the show. We did have some big hands, too, in the beginning of the show.
Don't be telling people that.
Ed, you're mean.
But this looks like it's going to be an action table, Shirley.
Just
So-
takes a big dick, huh?
I don't know, maybe we go a couple minutes late tonight or something.
It's a big debt.
See.
It's a new one each time.
So we got Tim Fan there.
Bart would run to midnight if he could.
Pocket 8s here for seat 3, or seat 4 there, Ed. He's going to raise and he's going to take it down.
Oh, we got 10 over.
So again, we talked about this being Poker Blues whale game. There's several whales in the game. Kenberg, Ed Shanazarian. I guess you can call even Barry Woods a whale. He's got a lot of money, right? Frank
Right.
Mariani.
Have we figured out what he does?
We don't know. We don't know what Barry does. Is Barry Woods a whale? There's a question for everyone up on 2+2. Now, of course, if you want to...
I mean, all I have to do is ask him, and I just never think about asking him when I see him.
Yeah. Now, if you want to follow a thread that started on the internet, you can go to 2plus2.com, spelled out, click on forums, and then click on mid to high stakes no limit Texas Hold'em. And
Because
that's where
we
we are
have
tonight.
moved tonight.
Yes, we've moved tonight. So we're in the Hold'em section of the forums. High limit, no limit. Check it out. The official Live the Bike thread for 11.9. 5,100 no limit Hold'em here. Yoshi's going to raise here from the button.
The rest of it.
And Joe is going to call. Now, Joe already went broke. I don't know if we got that on in the beginning. Ace King. He pushed in with ace-king.
Well, I mean, he technically didn't.
Well, the flop was 8-8-6. Yosh called with an overpair, and Yosh won.
Yosh had jacks, but they ran it 3 times.
That's right. Yosh won 2 out of 3 times.
Right, so he got a little bit of money.
King, deuce here. Yosh is going to bet. Now, Joe's got the nut flush draw, and it looks like he's gonna check raise.
He's going to raise.
$500 bet there by Yosh, and Joe's going to check raise, and Yosh folds. Makes it 1,000 more to go. Takes it down. Yeah, I think that pot, Shirley, was about 10,000, and Yosh won 2 out of 3.
Right.
And Joe won 1 out of the 3.
Right. So, he ended up getting like 3,000 back out of it, and it was his first
$2,000 loss, yeah, for that hand. And then we saw, again, we just introed here with Tim Fan coming in, doing the same thing with, doing with a draw, check raising with a draw,
right.
Queen 10.
And he won 1 out of 3.
1 out of 3, yeah. And Frank Mariani, I mean, sometimes, he'll have some fun and, drink at the table, and then he plays real loose.
Yeah,
C5.
it usually adds a little excitement if the game's boring. But it doesn't look like it's going to be boring. I don't know, maybe it's just because we're all a little wired in here.
Well, I'm ready for some hot action now, I got to tell you. Yeah.
Sometimes when we blue commercial.
Yeah, well, sometimes when we have some problems at the beginning, we all get wired up in here. Our technical staff, me. But,
not me.
Not you. You're always the calming force. Tim Fan just raised there with 10-7 of clubs, and he took it down. And believe me, we'll see more of that commercial as the night wears on. And again, Action Joe Wynn, boy, he's lost a lot of money on Live at the Bike. Maybe not so much in this game, but definitely in the 10-20 game.
Mm-hmm. We're trying to win that iPod that one week.
Yeah. Ed's going to raise here out of the small blind. And he's got King 9. Barry and Yosh are both going to call. And here we go to the flop.
Probably.
Ooh, 4 in the window. Barry
Wow.
flops his set.
7-4, and Ed's got overcards and a flush draw.
And
Not
a
a
flush
bad
draw.
And Yosh has an overpair. Ed's going to bet 500. Barry's going to raise. This might save Yosh. We'll see.
Wow.
How do you like that on me?
He's raising 2,000 more.
Going to make it 2,000 more. Wow. Pot is now 3,700. 2,500 for Yosh to call.
The other chosen person.
And I think Yosh can easily get away from his overpair now.
Yeah.
But look at Ed's hand. Overcards and a flush draw. I mean, there aren't a lot of players that necessarily might not get away. I mean, unless the guy has a set.
Right, if you think
yeah.
your overcards are okay.
And Ed's going to make the call. Pot is now approaching $6,000 here. And earlier, before we came on, Ed gave a really bad beat to Barry. Well, the turn's an ace. And let's see if Barry moves all in here.
3,000.
He's going to bet 3,000, about half the size of the pot. $3,000 bet here. The pot is now about $9,000. 3,000 to call. And Barry played this set hard.
Come on, you got most of my money sitting there. I was just
And he's going to make the call, Shirley. He's going to make the call. Over a 10, we got $12,000 in here. Ed needs a spade. And the river's a spade! There it is! And Ed's going to move all in. And Barry had
Barry
a
knows
bad
Barry
beat.
can lay this down.
Barry had a bad beat, remember, before the show started. Ed's going to move all in. We'll see how much it is here.
Barry can lay this down.
Looks like about 7,000. How much does Barry have left? That's the issue.
A little lower.
He's got him Ed covered. So the pot is about $20,000, 7,000 for Barry to call. Oh, wow. This is going to be one of the biggest hands in the history of Live at the Bike. Already 20,000. If Barry makes the call, it will be the biggest hand.
Good Barry. Oh, man. You know, he's had a hard time laying these things down. I think he's going to lay this one down.
Well, it's 7,000 in for 20,000. He can't beat a 3 here either.
Right.
He can't beat a 3 here. He can't beat a flush here. $7,000 bet into a $20,000 pot.
I'll call your ass.
Oh, he's going to make the call. There it is, Shirley.
Oh, my God,
there it is,
Barry.
the biggest hand in the history of Live at the Bike. There's the flush, and Ed's going to take down a $27,000 pot. And Barry played it hard. The only thing I can say, I got to say, the only thing I can say about that hand is I thought he'd actually push harder on the turn, Shirley. He bet $3,000 into a $6,000 part there on the turn.
You know
could a case be made that he might have actually let Ed get there by betting that amount
if
on
you
the
bet
turn?
that amount, and then you have to lay that hand down. And we just talked about this last week, me and Barry. That's why it was positive he was laying this hand down.
Wow. What
We
a hand.
talked about specifically Ed.
Yeah.
That when Ed fires into the pot, Ed has a hand. He calls off a lot of chips when, with second pair, top pair, weak kicker, he calls a lot of chips, but when he fires those chips into the pot, he has something. And,
Wow.
I mean, he already forgot her. I mean, he let his emotions control his decision.
That is unbelievable. I think, we can say $27,000 there in the pot. Unbelievable. And Barry, I got to say, before we were having technical difficulties, I don't know if this got on the show, Barry was in. He had already made a $10,000 rebuy, which means he had already gone bust twice.
Right. He was in for $20,000, and he had a lot of chips back.
So look at this. If
he better go take a walk.
If he goes bust again, he can make a $20,000 rebuy, which I don't think we've ever seen in this game. He's down almost $18,000 to $19,000 right now for that game. Unbelievable.
He says you can afford it.
Well, Joe's got ace-queen here, and the flop comes queen high.
No. He went probably to take
And he's bet here. Now Yosh is going to let ace-king go here, and Action Joe Wynn's going to take it down. What a hand by Ed Shanazarian. Unbelievable.
Don't forget that my arm is screwed up, man.
And it looked like, I think Ed actually slipped Brian a $100 toke there.
No, that's the betting guard.
I understand English.
Unbelievable. Boy, Shirley, that's got to be a huge hand. That's one of the biggest hands we've ever seen. Probably one of the biggest hands that this casino has ever seen.
Yeah.
$27,000.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. Unbelievable.
That was unbelievable.
Yep.
I really want to go out and smack Barry upside his head.
Well,
I'm glad he's taking a walk.
well, he's going to be one of the biggest winners in Live at the Bike history, that's for sure, Barry. I mean, he's still up tens of thousands of dollars for the show. Now, we're going to see the blinds go at it here. Tim against Joe Wynn. 10 deuce against King 3 of hearts.
I know. We're talking in the background.
Turn is a 6 here. And the river's a 4, and it looks like Joe is good here with king high. He's going to take it down. Well, you're right, Shirley.
John.
When Ed bets the river, normally he has something.
When he
that's for
fires
sure.
in there, he has something. And, I mean, there's probably people out watching saying, oh, well, there was this much in the pot. There was this. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you're calling 3,000, it doesn't matter if the pot is laying you 100 to 1, if you know that player, has you beat.
Yeah.
And from what we've seen of Ed on the weeks, and I mean, we've witnessed him here on, I don't even know how many times, numerous times, that when he fires, he has something. And it just really bothers me that, me and Barry discussed this last week, and it was just out the window.
Pot is limped around here. 5-way action. Looks like Yoshi's got pocket nines, and it looks like he's flopped top set. He limped in early position. He's going to check the set. He's got top set here. See if anyone else can get involved.
Well, the only person in seat 5 has gut shot. He bet 300.
Frank's going to bet. So let's see how Yosh plays it here with 5. Yoshi's just going to smooth call with the set. And we are heads up. Frank does not have pocket 5s. He has 8-5. He's picked up a flush draw now. And look at this. Yoshi's going to check again, and Frank is going to bet. 7-9-4 jack with 2 spades out there. Frank has got 8-5 of spades. Frank is going to bet 1,100 here. And he's just going to call again. Boy, he's slow playing, and the river is a 10.
That gives
and that's
Frank
a
the
straight. There's a straight. He was double gutted on the turn as well. Unbelievable. Frank Mariani's backed into a straight, and Yosh is going to bet with his set of 9s.
1,800.
He's going to bet 1,800. And I think that's almost enough to put Frank here.
Looks like it's just calling.
He's just going to call? He's just going to call. And Yosh slow rolled the top set, and Frank backed into a straight.
Slow played.
Unbelievable. Slow rolled, slow played, whatever you want to call it. I didn't like it.
And now we see our Frank back.
Wow. Yeah, look at
Now
that.
he wins a little bit of chips.
He actually had a double gutter on the flop there. 4-7-9 with 5-8, right? A 6 or a 10. And then he picked up the spade draw on the turn, and then he made it. He had a double gutter on the flop. Sometimes those are hard to pick out.
Right.
Picked up the spade draw on the turn, and Yosh check call, and then bet the river. I guess he just thought that Frank was, bluffing the whole way. And Frank takes down a pretty big pot there. I mean, that's close to 6,000 or 7,000. Button moves over here to seat 7.
I'm going to raise it.
Raise.
And Barry's back. Hopefully he's calmed down or he's composed himself.
What do you mean with no look?
Yeah.
You didn't look? Joe, so I'm going to raise it. Oh,
Did you look, Yosh?
Huh?
Did you look?
What did I have to say? This is Vic started this rumor, and he won't probably look.
Now here we go here. We got a raise here by seat
7-player.
1. Yosh, and look at this. He's got deuce. He's got pocket 8s, and Barry's going to call with deuce 3 offsuit. We get 7-way action. $2,100 pot. Here we go. Ace 3-6 rainbow. Looks like Ed's got an ace 10 offsuit over there, and he's going to bet it. Seat 4. He's going to bet 500. Frank folds. Action's over here to Tim Fan. And he's going to raise. And he's raising with absolutely nothing.
Wow.
Ace 6-3 on the board. He is raising with nothing. And the action's
he
over to
doesn't
Ed.
know- he
He's
doesn't know
bluffing
Ed.
the wrong guy. Ed's not
what
going to
I'm
let this
saying.
go. Ed bet. Tim raised 2,000. I think Ed bet about, I want to say 900 on the flop. And Tim Fan raised.
That was a fine call you made. What did you put me on? No, it wasn't a fine call. No, it sounded like I think I lost it. I said.
So Ed's thinking here. Again, the board is ace 6-3.
In the game a long time ago.
And there's only one heart.
Yeah, a $900 bet here and a raise to 2,000 by Tim Fan. The pot is exactly $5,000 here. It was $2,100 pre-flop. And remember, it's Ed, Shirley.
I know.
And I don't think that, if he's going to make this call, there's no way Tim's going to get him off the hand. He's bluffing the wrong person, and Ed's going to make the call. 7,000 in the pot, and Tim's pretty much, look at his face.
He
He's
needs,
pretty much all
to
in.
run a runner here.
He's pretty much all in. Well, there's a
There's
pair.
one, yeah.
I checked this.
Ed's going to
7
check.
on 8.
25.
Betting 2,500.
And Tim's going to bet 25. He still has more chips left. He's got a $5,000 chip
He
there.
has big chip.
Pot is about $9,500 now. The turn is a 7 of spades. $2,500 for Ed to call, and Ed is winning here. Ed is in great shape.
But is Ed going to want to hold on to his
What did he
winning?
call the flop for? That's the thing. $2,500 bet here. I think he's going to call.
well,
he's going to make the call.
I mean, it's Ed, but
He's going to make the call. Wow. And now we're at $12,000. And Ed's going to need to get off the phone there immediately. Immediately he needs to get off the phone. Maybe we can tell the dealer not to turn the river card now. And the river is a 10, and now we know Ed's not going anywhere.
Right.
And look at this, Tim's going to shut down, and Ed's going to take down a $12,000 pot. Wow.
And that's a lot of information for Tim right there, because Ace-10 is it's an easy lay down for professionals.
Very good.
Yeah.
And that just kind of sets Ed apart.
Wow. Unbelievable. This is amazing stuff. And Ed, boy, whenever we can get a chip count, I mean, he's got to be like around 40,000.
Did you just hear Tim Fan said, I flopped aces and sixes?
Yeah, right. Ed's got about $40,000, and I think Ed's gonna have a big target on his head.
Well, Ed's gonna go take a break, I'm sure. He doesn't like to sit there once he wins a couple hands.
This is amazing stuff, folks. Absolutely amazing. And I think that Tim Fan, he's gonna try to rebuy for. Is he rebuying for 10,000 behind? Wow.
Well, we'll see when his chips get up there.
Raise, make it 400 total.
Tim is going to raise here to 400. Avo calls. Tim Fan's got queen 10 of spades. Zabo's got pocket sevens. Barry's going to call with ace jack.
Player.
And Ken Berg's got ace 10 offsuit. Here we go. Jack 3-9. Looks like Tim's got the open-ended straight draw. He's the pre-flop raiser. And Barry's going to move all in here with ace jack. And let's see how much more it is here. It's about 1,600. So it's a little over the size of the pot. I want to say the pot's about 2,800, 1,600 for Tim to call. So can he make this call? You know, he's got an open-ended straight draw. The pot's about 2,800, 1,600 for him to call. He's got an overcard, and he does make the call. Now, he could catch a queen, a king, or an 8 here. So here we go. Turn is a 5. And the river's a 3, and Barry's good here with ace-jack. That's good to see that he's going to win a pot, because that would have been bad news, you know. Ace-jack is good. And Barry Woods is going to take it down. Yeah, again, the only thing I can say about Barry is that, and the guy on 2+2 here, Surfin' Illini said the same thing. He said, I like a push on the turn instead of calling off $6,000 to $7,000 on the river, losing a $27,000 pot. With what at that point, which is now out there, he's got, you know, second to bottom set. You can't beat a 3, you can't beat a flush. It's not the type of guy that's going to bet in there with nothing. Right. I just think he underbet the turn. I really do. I mean, some people might say, well, if you know that the guy's on a flush draw and you've got a set of 4s, well, you can do that because you're almost pricing him in. But at the same time, when the flush comes, you got to release the hand, right? At the end.
Raise, make it 350.
Right. You know, got to raise here to 350. And Tim Fan actually is buying in.
And it wasn't chump change. He called off on the river. No. Neither. You know, it was a little more than 3 stacks. It was about $6,000 or $7,000.
Yeah. And this is going to be a spicy night. Look at this. Kenberg's going to flop trip jacks, but look at Yosh with king jack. Both of them check, and Abo's going to bet here with pocket 5s.
700.
He's going to bet 700. And Yosh is going to raise. And look at Ken Berg. He takes a bite of his filet mignon. This would be
he's
one
have to
hell of a
look
laydown.
back at his cards and say, what's going on?
Yosh's check raise. He's made it 2,300 to go. I don't know if Ken Berg's going to get away from this one.
Doesn't look like it. When
and look at this. He's going to move all in. He's moved all in. A check raise to 2,300. Ken Berg's going to move all in. It looks like maybe for 6,000 there.
Well, yeah, they'll pull the 2,300 in more, and it looks like about 4,500 more.
So 6,500 total.
About 4,000 more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There it is. And this pot's going to be well over $10,000. I mean, this is going to be a $15,000 pot if Yosh makes this call. It's about a $10,000 pot now, about 4,500 to call. And Yosh is short. He's going to make the call. And there's King Jack. And Ken's going to have to get lucky here. The turn's a 3. He needs a 9. And the river's a king. And Yosh fills up and he doubles through. Wow, what amazing action here so far.
That was easy to read.
This is incredible stuff. Compared to some of the other nights that we've had where this game has started off slow.
Right.
This is amazing.
Thank you.
Reads are so obvious. They're popping here. Boy, wow, that was a good read.
Wow. Unbelievable. And Ed, again, he's got the target on his face. Look at those stacks of
That's
chips.
a nice face there.
One, two,
just like
three,
I told
four,
you, he was going to go
five.
take a walk.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13 stacks of 2,000, 26,000 plus chips on.
And actually, he's got.
She's saying.
We're getting word that he's got a $5,000 chip and a couple $1,000 chips. He's got about 33,000, Shirley. 33,000. Unbelievable. And there's Yosh.
All of us, all the buddies.
And the big blind.
Button is Yosh's got there on the button. Frank. And it looks like it's heads up here between Frank and Tim Fan. 10, 10, 10 here? Ken Berg is actually in the hand. We can't see what he has.
I can read all the hands.
Tim is going to bet here, and he's going to take it down.
Because you like those small cards. That's all I get are small cards.
Unbelievable.
Well, there's lots of small cards, right?
Incredible action here at Live at the Bike. Well, of course, we stream live cash games. Again, we're on the 2+2 thread, in a new thread, so some people might be watching this game for the first time. We stream live cash games every Monday through Friday from 6 to 10 Pacific time. 6 to 9, excuse me. 6 to 10 was our own schedule.
Right.
Old schedule. 6 to 9 Pacific time. Tonight is 5100 no limit. It's Poker Blues Whale Night. And we got Pocket Kings over here for Yosh. This is a restricted buy-in game. You can buy in for $5,000.
Is it for Yosh? It's Barry.
Barry Wood's there in seat 9, you're right. But look at this, seat 2's got Pocket Kings as well. Ken Kookaroo Berg on the button, he's got Pocket Kings, but he's kind of short. And the only thing about Ken's game here is that he just traps and traps and traps. Why wouldn't you push the rest of your chips in here?
He doesn't have many.
Right.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Why do you just call with kings here, Ken, on the button?
Raising 1,000.
I don't think he can hear you, Bart.
How much is he behind?
Oh, and now we're getting word that actually he's behind. I think he's raised to $1,000. Has Ken re-raised here?
Raising 1,000.
Ken has re-raised 1,000 more. I think he's 5,000 behind, so he has made the re-raise. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Barry just push right
He's
here.
moving in. He said all in.
And he is going to push.
And it's too funny. They both have the same hand.
And this pot's going to be over $10,000. This is incredible stuff.
So hopefully they won't pull all those chips in the middle because most likely this is going to be a chopped pot.
Looks like Barry's got about 4,800. So it's about 4,800. I think it's 4,800 more. How much did they say it was total?
I thought they said 56 total.
Okay, 56 total. So again, the pot will be 11-2. I can't see Ken folding here, is he?
55-50.
I mean, he's got Pocket Kings. Well, question is Ken behind 5,000 or 10,000 too? I think he's behind 5,000.
Well, you're playing behind?
Well, he's thinking about it.
Yeah, 5,000. Make that look like 600.
And I think he's going to make the call here, Shirley.
I thought that's what he said.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. So it's kings against kings here.
And the dealer did not pull him in, so that'll be nice to chop it. And
that's
yeah,
gonna do
it's
it.
a chopped pot already.
That's going to do it.
Wow.
Nice hand.
Chop it up.
Wow.
You guys make a buck.
Wow.
Chop it up. And, yeah, the dealer did not take those chips in, so there you go. So this game is sponsored by Poker Blue. If anyone wants to know, you can check out pokerblue.com. And if you play, it's a play site, or play for money site. If you play 4 hours of any 1-2 limit game or higher, you can qualify for the Big Fat Weekly Free Roll that's on Sunday afternoons. The winner of that free roll, now normally show they only get about 150 to 200 people in that free roll. The winner of that free roll gets a choice of the main event at the World Series of Poker next year, or several different WPT main events that they can play in.
Not the circuit, huh?
And maybe possibly the circuit too, but we know WPT, World Series of Poker main events, or you can come in and play in this game for a couple of buy-ins.
Is that Damon in C4?
Barry, you want some more?
Small player. I'm going to get something stronger.
Damon's playing with Ed's money.
Yeah, I guess
Wow.
Damon is playing with Ed's money. Damon's a local no-limit pro here. 6-5-6 here on the flop.
Give me $1 million, I give you half.
Pot was
give
good.
you half of it.
Seat 8 raised it pre-flop, 400.
And I'll give you $100.
And Avo bets here, and he takes it down. Well, I mean, if people watched the show last week, Shirley, I mean, we were seeing limping. These guys are raising 400, and we're seeing 4- and 5-way flops. I mean, we're seeing $2,000 in pre-flop every single hand. So Damon there in seat 4, he's going to play with Ed's chips. Ed is a very, very wealthy man. And Ed is letting Damon play with his chips. And Damon definitely has a different style than Ed does in seat 4.
Oh, yeah, Damon's a rock.
Yeah, Damon is a rock.
Bet 3,000 into a
Yeah.
$5,000 pot. 600. Bet 3,000, 6 in the middle. 3 to 1 there.
Yeah, and he had a 4-to-1 shot.
So, you know,
Raise 300.
really get close for a gambler. 3 to 1 is really good.
For Ed, it doesn't really matter. Ed will do a 20 to 1. As long as there's a 2 in there.
Frank Mariani raised here with 6-8 of diamonds, and he's going to take it down. Again, you can email us at live@thebike.com. Well, if you use the code word BIKE when you are depositing money in your Poker Blue account, you can play, if you win the big weekly free roll, you can play here in this game. They'll give you a couple of buy-ins, I believe. 1 or 2 buy-ins, I'm not exactly sure. 2 buy-ins for this game. So if you want to take a shot at the...
yeah, you might end up in a game like this and win
Take a
all
shot at
kinds.
a
Yeah,
high
you put
cash
yourself
game.
in the main event and still have money left over.
Seat 2 is going to raise here to 400. Pocket 9s. And that's Tim Fan. And, excuse me, that is Ken Berg that raised here with pocket 9s. Flop comes ace 6-7. Now, Tim Fan's got ace-3 of diamonds, and it looks like he's got the best hand. Frank's got an open-ended straight draw. And it gets checked around.
Wow.
Tim did not bet with ace-3.
With 2 hearts on board, too.
Turn is a deuce. Again, that is Tim Fan in seat 6. We have it up as Joe, but it's Tim Fan. He moved.
Oh, Joe left, huh?
Yeah.
Careful.
And now, I guess figuring that he thinks he's got the best hand, Ken's going to bet. Now, Frank has got the open-ended straight draw. And now Tim has kind of induced this bet here. So let's see what he does. Looks like he's just going to call. And once again, the pot is pretty big, and the river's a 10, and Frank would have made it, but he's out of the hand. And this one's just going to get checked down. And Tim Fan's going to win I want to say about a $5,000 to $6,000 pot here. A little less than that, actually, about $4,000 with ace-3.
Got a weak kicker.
You think?
Oh, it's a great kicker.
And Tim's going to take it down. Well, Frank didn't chase there.
Bank 3.
Well, we got an email here from
What is it?
Guillermo Garcia. He says, just wondering, what was the casino rake for that $27,000 pot? Well, this game is not a raked game. If it was in the 10-20 game, surely it would only be $4.
Right.
It's not a percentage rake that we take. It's a standard rake. But this is a collection pot game, which means every half an hour, the winner of a certain pot pays the collection for the entire table. And this hand is the collection pot. You can see that disc in the center of the table there.
And that price is $15 per player.
Yeah.
Live straddle.
Well, we got a live straddle here by Vic Park, which means it's going to be 200 to call. And is playing like a $200 big blind game. And we're really get a lot of money on the table here. This is going to be a fun show. Looks like a couple limpers here. And we're going to see multi-way action.
What's up, Mike?
5-way action. $1,000 pot. Looks like Frank Mariani's got a king-queen in seat 5, which looks to be the best hand right now. And he flops it up here. King 10, 6.
I have a couple good shots.
Frank's going to bet.
I go all in the first time. My very first time I went all in with queen high. I lost.
And it looks like
And later I went all in.
he's going to take it down there with the king queen. There you go.
The same hand twice.
Flawless Victory on 2+2 writes, is this game private or can anyone play? Well, anyone can play if you've got the money. Come on down here. How often does it run? Every Wednesday night we do our Poker Blue Whale Night.
But during the other days of the week, we have other games.
Other games. Friday nights we have a 10-20 no limit game, unrestricted buy-in. Thursday nights we have a $500 unrestricted buy-in, no limit game, 5-10 block. Mondays normally we'll do a limit game, and Tuesdays we'll do some form of restricted buy-in. No
Usually
limit
like
game.
the $300 to $500 buy-in.
Right.
5 and 5 blinds.
5 and 5
Great.
blinds.
300 total.
Frank Mariani's going to bring this one in for a raise. He's got 10-9 of clubs. He's going to make it 300 to go. Again, the white chips are $100 chips. Pinks are 50s.
Make it 7 total.
And Avo's going to re-raise Frank with 6-5 of clubs. He's going to re-raise to 700. Frank calls. 10-9 of clubs against 6-5 of clubs.
When you're in 20, you lose 10.
Heads up.
Come back with 10, so I won like 1,000. I'm on the long road to recovery.
10 deuce 5. Frank's got top pair here.
The guy who wants to put all the money
Pot's
into
about
that.
$1,500.
To the longer road.
Frank's going to check, and Avo's going to bet. He's hit middle pair.
Betting 1,200.
He's going to bet 1,200. Wow, and Frank's not going to get involved. Well, Otto's he's pretty solid, Shirley.
Right.
He did re-raise Frank.
Well, I think once Frank has a few more glasses of wine, he'll call with a 10-9. We saw that last week, remember? Yeah. He was kind of going crazy.
Yeah.
And he was hitting.
Yeah.
He missed a hell of a game yesterday.
So Button moves over to his seat, too, and here's the chip count. So Ed, of course, Damon is playing in Ed's seat right now.
Right, that's
He's got $33,000. And, of course, we definitely want to get Ed back in this game. Damon's no fun. We want Ed.
Yeah, we like Ed.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if Barry's liking him. He only has 6,000.
Now Yoshi's got 12,000, Vic's got 12,000, and Barry, he's got 6,500. He's down over 15,000 for the night. For the show, he's down, I want to say, several thousand. Several thousand. We got a raise here by Barry, Queen 9 offsuit. And Frank and Damon both call. There's Damon / Ed, but this time it's Damon playing in there. Jack 9-4
and you can
here.
see, I mean, he just flat calls with ace king.
Yeah.
And Barry does have the best hand.
Betting 900.
Going to bet 900 into a $1,200 pot. And Damon is going to fold. Well, this is kind of like Ed putting Damon in the game, right? I wonder if somebody could, if actually someone could object, because it's like, I wonder if someone could actually object to this.
Do you really want Damon playing his chips? Heck no, I don't.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's like Ed's built up a stack, and now he's going to give his chips to a solid player to play now?
Right.
When you've got all the chips?
Right.
I wonder if someone could or would object to this.
The regular is 0.8. But we kicked it all up to 0.8.
And I think we're getting word that Ed did ask the table if Damon could play over him. I'm sure it's only going to be for a little bit, Shirley. They wouldn't just allow that to happen, you know? I don't think so. I mean, you could put Damon in a game, but it's different because Damon hasn't necessarily earned all those chips. It was Ed that earned those chips.
Right.
Oh, what?
Well, I mean, what did we do here? Ray wasn't making a bad play.
Looks like Damon and Frank Mariani are in the blinds. It gets folded to them. And they're going to chop it up.
He put all the heat on
chop it up.
Pat Rayo. You know, Ray could have had Pat dead. And Pat kept taking all the heat, so they got it capped on 6, and then he tried again on the river. And Toto made a low card on the river to make a scoop hand.
What did Ray have for low?
He had an 8. He had a rough 8.
What did Pat have?
An 8. A little better. It was rough.
What was the bottom line for Ray?
But he knew what Ray was trying to do. Huh?
What happened to Ray at the end?
Buttons moved over here to seat 4. And it looks like this one was limped around here.
6 players.
6-way action. Jack 9-3 with a couple of hearts. What a flop here for Ken Berg. He's got Queen Jack of hearts. And it's got checked around him. He's going to bet. He's going to bet about the size of the pot here. He's got top pair with a flush draw. Jack 9-3 with 2 hearts on board. Tim Fan's going to call with Jack 4. And he's in a whole world of trouble.
Yes, he is.
So we're heads up here. Tim Fan against Kenny Berg. Seat 2 against seat 6. The turn is a 9. Wow, it goes check, check. And the river's an 8. Now, might Tim bet here? Well, no, it's going to check.
And Ken just
wow,
checks.
Ken just checks. Boy, I really think you could put a value bet in there at some point. I guess he was scared that, you know, Tim might have a 9 or something. Like, anyways, Ken's going to take it down. It's interesting. Ken Berg plays a pretty passive game. We've seen him on the show multiple times. He loves to trap.
Right. But he seems to do okay.
Yeah, he does seem to do okay. Now, something could be said about your hand is so strong there on the turn that you actually might check that turn because you don't want to be check raised. The possibility of being check raised if Tim had called with a 9. You know, your hand is so strong that not only can you call a big bet on the river, but you don't necessarily want to bet the turn and then get check raised all in.
And be forced off your hand.
Right.
It's a good point.
Yeah, he was taking these cards off. That was like.
Now, again, if you didn't have the hard draw, I would bet because I don't want to give off a free card if he's on a draw. But if I'm on the hard draw, I don't want to be check raised with Duncan, even though my hand is strong. We got a raise here by seat number 3. It's Vic Park. He hasn't really played that much tonight. Looks like he's got 8-10 of hearts. And we've got a couple of 8-10s. Yoshi's got 8-10 of clubs. Queen Jack there for Frank Mariani. 3-5 of hearts for Tim Fan. $1,600 pot. Oh, wow. Two people flop flushes. And look at this. Tim Fan's got the straight flush, and Vic, he's got a higher flush. Tim Fan flops a straight flush, and Vic's going to bet. He was the original raiser, and he had 8-9, not 10-8. He had 8-9 of hearts. Tim Fan's got a straight flush. He's got a smooth call. This is unbelievable. Now, hopefully you don't see a heart. You don't want the action to be killed here. The turn is a deuce. And Tim's going to check. And let's see what Vic does here. The turn is a deuce of diamonds. Well, that pairs the board. So could that possibly kill some action when we see a river? When we see a river, that might
less now because of that.
Because it paired the board. Pot is about 3,200 right now. And Vic's going to bet 2,000. And Tim Fan's got the stone cold nuts. 5,200 in the pot. And Tim, he looks like he's going to push here. 5,200 in the pot, 2,000 a call. I mean, is this a video game, or are we watching live cash poker here?
Is it really even technically a push, though? Look at all the cash he has behind, or is this just a raise?
See what he does.
Is that money in play? Because that makes a big difference.
Well, he's raised, it looks like 3,000 there, is it?
If that cash doesn't play, Vic might be forced to call. Vic might be forced to call because it's only a little bit.
So it looks like it's a $3,000 raise here, and Vic has a flush. Vic has a flush. 3,350, which means it's about an $8,500 pot. 3,500 for Vic to call.
If that cash plays, Vic should lay this hand down.
Yeah, he's going to make the call. And here we go. We've got, we've got about a $12,000 pot brewing, and we still have more money if the cash plays.
If the cash plays, yeah.
Vic is behind. He's got maybe 6,000 to 8,000 behind. And Tim, that looks like a wad of 5,000 there. $12,000 going to the river. Let's hope for a non-action killer river. And the river's a 5. And there it is. He's going to bet 5,000 here on the river.
Did he throw 5,000
Yeah.
or did he just turn his hand up?
No, he threw the wad of bills in there.
He did?
Yeah, 5,000 here on the river. And again, I think that deuce might have killed some of the action here.
Yeah.
The pot is $17,000, 5,000 for Vic to call. And he's going to make the call. And we've seen two of the biggest hands in the history of Live at the Bike. Tim Fan flops a straight flush and takes it down over a flopped flush for Vic Park. Absolutely incredible. Incredible stuff.
What a flop.
Wow. Over a $20,000 pot.
I liked him.
We've seen a $27,000 pot and a $22,000 pot. And all I can say is, wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you think? Oh, I flopped the monster. Yeah, you think so?
Wow. Absolutely incredible. Well, the only thing that I was going to say is, I'm always a big proponent of not slow playing. Now, that is a clear-cut case there where he did check raise the turn. Okay, he didn't check raise the flop, but if you play it so-so, like we saw Yosh play his set of 9s earlier in the show, a heart is going to kill all your action unless the guy has the nut flush.
Right.
You got to put your money in at some point, and he did. He check raised the turn.
Right.
Wow.
And I know exactly what you're saying because we've worked here, but there are a lot of new viewers because of the form in 2+2 being in a different spot. What you're saying is not because you're afraid someone's going to beat you, obviously, because he had the, he had the straight flush.
Yeah.
But because an action killer could come, on the turn or on the river, and you might not get as many chips as you would have otherwise.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not to that extreme. I actually am in favor of slow playing, on certain occasions.
Right, but that is an incredible pot. Wow.
Yeah.
Frank, you got any? No.
Well, CW Siggy is going to ask a question here. He says, raising for information, no limit. Ever correct?
Absolutely.
Well, let's get to that after this hand. Jack 4 against Queen 10 here, heads up. Ace 7-3. And actually, we've got Ava over there with Jack 4. I think the pot was limped around here. Blinds and a limper there. Turn is an 8. Two people have Queen 10. And we got a new player there in seat 7. That's Mike Wu.
Might not have, but if they put a heart in the river, get away from it.
And Kenny Berg's going to steal that one with Queen 10. He bets it, and he takes it down. So anyways, raise for information and no limit, ever correct?
I say absolutely.
Yeah?
He flops them every day. Kidding me?
Right when I wake up in the morning.
That's the first one on there.
Stay flushes. It's been a slow day. It should have been 2 by now.
Doesn't happen once every blue moon.
No, I don't think I've ever lost a straight flush before.
Right. 400 total.
You only turned one a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Making a straight flush is not a big deal, but having another guy
Pop a flush?
Yeah.
We got a raise here by seat 3, and Frank has got pocket 10s.
7 of hearts and a 10 of hearts. I wouldn't really know.
Ace turn versus 10.
3, 4, 5 here on the flop. Frank is going to bet. He's going to bet 1,000. He's got the overpair. And is Vic going to make a move here?
Poor Vic. That's rough.
Yep. Wow. He's gonna look at this. And look at him shake. He's gonna check raise here. It looks like maybe $3,000 or $4,000. We'll see how much it is.
Really?
And Frank is gonna fold.
Wow.
Wow.
And someone said he's on a little bit of tilt.
Unbelievable.
Oh, he said it.
Yeah, and Vic takes it down.
So we'll go ahead and go on to the next hand here.
Stop it. Don't stop. Alright? You want to do it? Give me a phone. I'll call you. Let's do it some other day. Give me his number. Really? Yeah, I have no win. If I beat up an old man, let's say I beat up an old man. If I let no one beat up on me, let's say you let an old man beat up on you. You know what I mean? Come knock it off. Relax, you know?
How did you get escalate?
Raise. 300 total.
Someone called me, asked who's in the game. I went down the list. I said Tommy. I said Tommy fuck. I said Tommy fuck and Yosh. He said, hey boy, you told me to stop that. He never told me to stop that. I asked him, hey, where's Tommy fuck? He said, I don't want to talk about it.
Heads up.
He never told me to stop it. Then he said, hey, what's up? He said, what do you want me to tell him? When they asked me to tell me who?
Yeah. That's how everybody
Man,
knows
he's already irrational, so he wouldn't say anything. All he kept saying is, oh, you ready? You say one more word, I'm going to throw his rack. I said, Tommy, you better just relax. Tommy, you better just relax.
Betting 800.
Everyone loves to call him Tommy Fuck. That's his name. He's got to get used to it.
But he doesn't like it. But I said, okay, what do you want me to call you then? What do you want me to tell people? If they ask me
You
Tommy
say
who?
Tommy, they don't know who Tommy is.
Yeah, so I said Tommy fuck.
Tommy Huffinagle, Tommy, you know.
So here we go.
Don't call him Tommy Fuck.
Sorry about that. A little audio problem.
Hey, I don't
Button's
think
going to move over here to seat 1.
You guys can fight because you guys are the same ages, you know?
Seat 9,
Actually,
Barry.
seat 9. Yeah, Barry's got the seat 9.
Guys, you know, you got a mean streak in him.
For what?
We really gonna get into it then when he starts saying, well, how you like fuck your dad? I said, fuck you, man. I'm not even talking about. I just asked him, what do you want me to call you? You know? People. Oh, so riled up.
So the button here has moved over to seat 9.
What's a beauty? Did you see it?
And we're going to see a limp here, Barry. Look like someone limped under the gun, and we're going to see it limped around. So we got 4-way action.
Well, I knew you had a hand.
Probably after that.
King 10-3 with a couple of diamonds.
You put 5,000 in.
And everybody checks. Turns at 10. Damon's got a flush draw, and so does Barry now. 2 flush draws. Well, Damon plays it really tight. He's going to bet.
He is going to bet.
Going to bet 300 here. And Barry's going to get out of the way.
He doesn't just have the flush draw. He has a straight draw,
Yeah,
too.
he's got a gut shot to the jack, and he's going to
And he
take it
takes it
down.
down.
Yep.
Everybody's going over there.
Well, it's nice to see Barry laid that down.
Yep. Especially, you know, a paired board, you don't know where you're at. Damon's betting. He could easily be betting a 10. You don't know.
Right, and probably that came into factor.
Right.
You know, he knows that Damon's a tight player, and he just lays the hand down. I don't understand why, you know, when Ed pushed in, why that didn't factor into the equation.
I forgot to get away from this question. You
Yeah,
said
we have to come
absolutely.
back.
Raising, there's a lot of things going on. People
Right.
aren't privy to here.
Yeah.
Raising for information. Tell us about that. When
You
do you
tell
think
it. Go ahead and offer your opinion. I already said absolutely.
I'm saying, well, when do you think you raise an information, like as purely for information? As we're going to get a raise here. King, Queen of Diamonds by Mike Wu. Barry's going to call with Jack 10 of Spades. Yosh is going to call out of seat 1 with 4 5 of Spades. Frank Mariani's going to come with 8 deuce of clubs.
Wow.
And we've got 4 by 4 here, 1,600 in the pot. Here we go.
He flops the flush draw.
8, 7, 5. Yep. Frank's got top pair and the club draw, and he's going to bet. He's going to bet 400 into a $1,600 pot. Yoshi's got middle pair with the straight draw. Barry's got a gut shot and overcards, backdoor spades. It's such a small bet on the flop here. Mm-hmm. He's bet 1/4 of the pot. And Barry's going to raise. He's going to raise. And we have seen Frank lay down over pairs and top pair tonight.
Yeah, he has top pair and a flush draw. I don't see him getting away from this.
Barry's going to make it 2,000 more. 2,000 more.
But hopefully for Barry, Frank will just flat call.
Yep.
And he'll have, you know, he has a chance to hit a 9.
Pot is 4,500, 2,000 a call. And Frank is going to call, it looks like. So now we're up to 6,500 in the pot.
Yeah, I got the bubble of the year.
And here we go to the turn. 6,500 in the pot. Barry needs a 9 here that's not a club. And the turn's a 10, and Frank's made the flush, and that's going to do it. And Frank's going to move all in. And is Barry going to get in trouble because he's picked up top pair here? Frank's going to move all in. It was a $6,500 pot. Well, Barry's not going to get involved. And Frank Mariani takes it down. Those of you that are not necessarily familiar with Frank Mariani in Seat 5,
right.
He is the co-owner of the Lakers, good friends with Jerry Buss.
Right. Business partners with Jerry.
Yeah, because I was going to, but I'm running so bad.
That's how kids in the pot in there.
He raised the pot, but he's raising a lot of pots.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Tin Fan flopped that straight flush. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Happen to have queens.
Picked up late last night.
You know, you got to do that because...
You're right. Of course you're
too
right.
much money out there.
Of course. Yes.
He had, and I did made the right play against Matisov.
So it looks like we have seen
Raise 300 total.
some new posters there on the thread. Now that this thread is in a new place, it's in the high limit, no limit form.
I thought it was mid limit.
High limit, no limit, high limit, pot limit, and no limit. This is not a mid-limit game.
Well, I know that. Don't give me your attitude. I thought that's what I read. All right. I got to go up and check
Mike's
this
got
thing.
top pair.
He's patting me on the back. It's okay, Shirley.
10-9-3, actually, I believe, is on the flop here. And Damon is going to bet here. Again, I think Mike has top pair here. I believe the flop has got a 10 in it. 10-9-3.
10-9-3.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's see what Mike does here.
Did you get your food order?
Mid and high stakes.
Mid-high stakes. We're both right.
Okay.
I had to scroll up just to prove part that I wasn't wrong. I wasn't seeing
See if
things.
Mike gears up for a check raise here. He is. He is going to check raise.
Raising 1,000.
And Damon, I'm sure, is probably going to fold here. So Mike is check raise here with a 10-7, 1,000.
You get to play, though, too. You're going to have
And Damon's going to fold.
Yeah, bad he played.
And again, you can email us at live@thebike.com.
Thank you, player.
Got a new email here from William. Boy,
Bevel Lockway.
Beba Lockway. He says he really likes the show. Thank you, William. And I think he also commented about sometimes it can be a little bit confusing with when we
knowing
mention
who
the
the
players'
names,
names.
right.
So we try to say seat numbers, and I try to interchange seat
numbers
numbers
with names.
and players' names as much as I possibly
And
can.
also when we post the cards up, it has the seat numbers with the names of the
Yeah.
players.
So again, for anybody that's new to the show, and it seems like there might be quite a bit of people, this is a live cash game. It's the biggest game we have at Live at the Bike, but we stream a webcast every day.
5 days a week.
Five days a
a
week.
week. Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday. 3 hours a night. Different levels of games, usually no limit, sometimes limit. Now Yoshi's raised here with King Jack, and it looks like Kenny Berg just calls with Ace Queen. So we're heads up, but a $900 pot. And wow, Yoshi's flop top two. Well, not a great flop for Ace Queen. He does have a gut shot. Yosh checks it, and Ken checks right behind him. Oh, the turn's a 10! Ken's hit the gut shot, and all the money could go in right here again, surely. Yoshi's going to bet 800 with top two pair. And Ken's going to raise.
I beat Caddy for 40,000 bucks.
He's going to raise, looks like 2,000.
I saw 105,000.
Pot's now 4,500, 2,000 for Yosh to call.
2,000.
What a turn card.
All kind of shit.
And you know that Ken loves to trap, so it might not be out of the ordinary that he could have a set of sevens here. You know?
And Yosh is capable of making laydowns. I mean, we've seen him actually make some questionable laydowns.
So the pot is 4,500. Looks like Ken Berg might have maybe 3,000 more. And Yosh is going to call. So it's now a $6,500 pot. And the river's a 5. That's a good blank.
You want black or you want red?
And I think that Yosh might put Ken all in here. We'll see. It's a $6,500 pot.
Red, the white one loses, picks the next time. The winner, the other can't.
Ken Berg has got about 3,000 left.
I don't want to.
It's actually, yeah, it might be close to 3,500. And I think that Yosh is checked.
I don't want to.
Ken's going to bet.
He only bets $1,000.
He only bets $1,000 in a $6,500 pot. I think he really could have had all of Yosh's money here.
Well, he certainly could have had more than that.
I mean, you got to figure Yosh has got to have a big hand to call that raise, right? I mean, you got the stone cold nuts there, buddy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, white guy.
$1,000 bet. The pot 7,500. $1,000 to call. Remember, Yosh earlier in the show folded with a small bet when he had the best hand on a fishy bet.
Because he thought it was fishy.
Yeah.
I don't think we were on the air for that one. We weren't on the air for that one. That was against Barry Woods.
Yeah.
How many people did you tell? How many people did you tell? They saw it?
And Yosh is still thinking $7,500 bet. Remember, Yosh checked.
And I don't think he's contemplating folding. He's just contemplating on what in the heck he can have.
He's just going to call.
You know,
and Ken's going to turn over
do
the
I
nuts.
raise or?
Yeah. I think that Ken really should have. I mean, when you only have that much left, I can't believe he didn't push all in the river. Ken's going to take down about an $8,500 pot. And there it is. What a turn card. Wow.
Thank you.
What's it come in, 150? Come in for 200? Straddle? No,
Button's going to move over here to seat 7.
Oh, we get a little trivia here. One of the players on here said his account hasn't been restored. Maybe sometime tonight. Guess who?
Wow. Well, we can only guess.
I know who.
I
You know who?
do too.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to get him in trouble, though.
No.
Got a live straddle here by Yosh. And again, we haven't really been able to put a lot of chip counts up here because the chips have just been flying around, but we'll try to do that as best as we can. And here we go. Limped around, 5-way action. 5 times 200, $1,000 pot.
No, making bones.
Gets checked around here. Turn is a 7. And now Yosh is going to bet. He didn't bet with top pair, and now he is going to bet. Looks like he's got the best
Well, he
hand.
still has top pair. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's going to bet 1,000 here, which is a pot-sized bet. And Barry's going to call here with Queen 7. Well, he's got a flush
He has a
draw
flush
and a
draw
pair.
and a pair, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not unreasonable.
So it's a $3,000 pot here. And here we go to the river. And the river's a 3. And Yoshi's hand is good. Barry's going to move the rest of his chips in. How much is it? And look at this. Yoshi's just going to call. Looks like it's maybe 2,000 there. And Barry's going to go broke here again. Wow. And that's over a $5,000 pot, maybe close to 6 or 7. And, you know, Shirley, again, Barry is down 20,000 for the day, probably somewhere in the midst of 10 to 15,000 for the show. He's just taking a real beating tonight. A couple bad beats against Ed in C4.
Right.
Wow. Now, it's interesting. We have a poster here on 2+2, Bill Alt. He says, how about a heads-up game on Live at the Bike? Well, I don't know if this guy is someone who is familiar with the bike, or he might be a guy that plays here a lot. Because actually on Mondays and Tuesdays, we're considering doing that. We might have a series of heads-up cash matches. Not free zones, but cash games. Heads up.
Oh, a series of them?
Well, just, you know,
Well,
a couple,
I mean, because
couple people matched up against each other. Heads up.
Way back when we had offered those Dodger tickets, and the winner of the little tournament got to play me heads up.
Right.
Remember that? And we aired that, but it didn't really go over well. People were like, "This is boring."
I don't really want to do it as a free zone. I mean, that's a tournament. We don't want it as a heads up tournament. We want it as a heads up cash game, and do just a series of them. Different people, you know, maybe a Jesus against an Ed. Heads up.
Oh, that would be pretty.
You know, something like that.
Yeah, it just depends on who you get, I suppose.
Yeah. You know, Mo against somebody else. Heads up. We went check here on the flop and on the turn, and this one's gonna get.
Not chop.
Jack 7's gonna play.
Jack 7.
Jack 7's gonna play. So everyone can tell us what they would think about that, showing some heads up matches against.
Why don't you tell us about raising for information, because you just evaded that question.
Come on, give it to him. Come on.
Oh, I think that raising, you know, you can raise with your draws, or you can raise with hands that aren't that strong, and then, you know, if you get re-raised, you can, you know, you definitely have the information that your hand might, you know, not.
Right. I mean, you raise like with top pair, and you don't have, you know, top kicker. You know, sometimes when you raise, you really don't know where you are exactly at the point. But you make a raise, and that kind of lets you know where you are. So,
you know, in mediocre hand, like you came in with Jack 10 and the flop comes 10 high, and somebody bets and you raise. Well, now if they come over the top of you, you gotta, you know, you definitely need to raise.
And this is definitely for information when you're doing
Absolutely.
that, because you can't know for certain that, you know, your pair's good with the weak kicker.
We got a straddle here again. Vic Clark is going to straddle. Vic's got a suited ace. Now Tim Fan's going to open this one in up for raise. Pocket 10s.
I don't know. I don't feel it yet. I don't mind.
And Vic, is he going to call?
He's a great pair.
He does call.
$5 pair.
Wait a minute. Is he re-raising?
Oh, I don't know.
He's going to re-raise.
2,000 more.
Wow, 2,000 more. And these guys, again, they're pretty deep. So Tim brought this one in for a raise. Tim brought it in for a raise of pocket 10s.
Come on, you can't take it personal, Vic.
Vic is going to re-raise out of the straddle spot. Well, sometimes you say you can't. You know, you got to sometimes check your ego at the door when you're playing poker.
Right, and, you know, I said I like the way Vic played, but, you know, tonight he's...
And Tim is going to call, and we've got a $5,000 pot. Heads up. Here we go. Oh, there's the ace, but there's the 10. Tim Fan's got a set of 10s, and Vic's got top pair. Oh, wow. 5,000 in there right now. Let's see how this one plays out. Action is on Vic. And Vic checks.
Right away?
And Tim was trying to figure out, you know, what Vic was doing. So let's see what
He
Tim's
didn't
going to
hear
do
him
here.
check, yeah. He's got his hat over his ears.
Is he going to slow play the set of 10s? Could you ever be scared that the guy might have a set of aces here?
Well, of course it could cross your mind, but
No, he's going to bet.
you can't play it.
And you know I love this. I love betting your hand in these games, Shirley. Not necessarily playing it tricky. This is a cash game. And Vic and he's going to bet. Tim's going to bet $2,000 into a $5,000 pot. So the pot is now $7,000. Let's see what Vic does here. I mean, what else did Vic want? I guess he just wanted to pick up the pot. Let's see what he does. Looks like, is he going to push the rest of his chips in here? He's gonna move all in, and this is going to be an instant call. Let's see how much more it is. He's called the 2,000 and he's raised, it looks like, another 25. Wait a minute, he's got a $5,000 chip back here. How much more is it? He's check raising.
This is how I got knocked out of the series right here.
And look at this, Tim is saying this is how I got knocked out of the series with a set of 10s. That's what he's saying.
Oh,
how much
yeah,
is the
that's
check
right.
raise? He makes the call. The turn is a 9. Surely this is about...
He's not. He's drawn to an 8, Vic is.
And
but
the
he
river's
doesn't
a
get
king.
there.
This is a
Wasn't drawn
$15,000
dead.
pot. Vic check raised him to 7,500.
Fair racing with my set of 10.
Yeah, look at that. And that's exactly what he said, because if everyone remembers the World Series episode that just happened last night, Tim had a set of 10s, the guy had ace-queen, and the guy caught running queen, running ace, I believe. Or running queen. Running queen with ace-queen.
Wow, that's disappointing.
And Vic, he check raised him to 7,500. Tim quickly called. The pot was about 15,000.
I don't think Tim gets nearly as much recognition as he deserves. He's truly one of the top tournament players out there.
Well, I think he is now, though. Now,
That he's finally getting recognized, yeah. He's amazing.
And that is an unbelievable. There's a hand, and he comments on it. He's like, just like the World Series.
Right.
Just like the World Series.
I wanted to point out there on 2+2, if you notice 7 and 7, he's talking about the heads-up matches. Do you think his favorite player is Jesus? He wants to see heads-up matches. Ed versus Jesus.
How about
Jesus versus Barry.
How about Barry Woods versus Kenna James?
versus Jesus. Diablo versus Jesus and Dimitri.
Yeah.
So, all against Jesus.
Unbelievable. Tim Fan with a set of 10s takes down about, I watched it, if he made it 7,500 straight, I never got confirmation about how big that pot was, how much the raise was afterwards.
3.5, that's the last.
I think that pot was a little more. I mean, I think the pot was more like 16 or 17. He took about 8,000 to 9,000 of Vic's money. Unbelievable.
The buy is 5.
Now we got two people with ace 10 here. I believe Barry's brought this one in. Frank's going to call. And Barry has rebought for 10,000, Joey. And I think he had the option to rebuy for 20 if he wanted to, but he only bought for 10. Three-way action here, queen 7 deuce. It looked like it got checked around on the flop.
Check.
Check. And now Barry's going to bet. And it looks like he's going to take it down. We're getting word that Vic Park is going to rebuy for 15,000. So I guess he's been busted.
He must have been.
He's on his third rebuy, right?
That's what it sounds like.
Remember, this game, you have to buy in for 5,000 the first time. It's a restricted buy-in, no limit game. The blinds are 50, 100. It doesn't give you a lot to work with. If you go broke, you can rebuy for another 5,000. Another time you go broke, you can rebuy for 10. And then another one, each subsequent time, 20.
20, right.
So this is the first time we've seen, I think, anybody rebuy. And look at the amount of chips he's got. He's rebought for 15,000 in seat 3. Unbelievable.
So all the moves to win the pot, but unfortunately I got all the hands.
500.
Tim Fan's going to make this one 500 to go. Boy, this is a very loose game.
Has a little bit of gas in his tank. No, you know even. He's trying to get even from yesterday.
Action here is on Vic. He's got pocket 8s.
So if, why this is, see if I could interrupt this real quick. Yeah, it looks like a boring hand.
Oh, he's going to re-raise.
Oh, there we go.
He's going to re-raise. Let's come over the top. He just lost, and now he's going to come over the top of Tim Fan again. And this time Tim's only got king 10. Shirley, did you put the hex on him this show?
Man, I think I did.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. Checking his ego at the door. Tim is not going to play. Well, he's the one that's been winning, so.
Right. So if, I know 7 and 7 was one of the persons who asked about the raising for information. And there was one other player who was asking about raising for information. But he said, where's Barry Greenstein when you need him? If you send me an email to my, to my home email address, I will send an email to Barry. But you have to remind me.
About what?
What he thinks about information raises and no limit like.
Oh, well, I don't think that there's any doubt that they are extremely useful.
What he's trying to say that most people on the 2+2 forum were saying no.
That they're really?
Yeah, he said that. He goes, Shirley says absolutely, but she would be in the minority in this forum.
Oh.
So he asked about Barry, so I can send Barry an email.
5-5-3 here. And look at this. Seat number 2. He's got ace-5. And Tim's going to bet 300 here with the gut shot. And, of course, Ken Kookaroo-Berg, he always plays a trap game. He's just going to call with ace-5. Turns a jack. And now...
And
he's going to give a free card. Yep. Ken Berg's going to give him a free card, and there's the 6 on the river. Tim's made the straight. Ken Berg gave him a free card.
Is this online poker?
And Tim Fan made the straight. Unbelievable.
It's rigged.
And he's going to bet out. How much is the bet here? 1,700. And that's an overbet of the pot. Oh, and Ken Berg might go broke here. Let's see if he just calls because I don't know, Shirley. I mean...
Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Is he just going to call or is he going to raise?
Looks like he's grabbing raising chips.
Uh-oh, he's going to make it 4,000 to go.
Now what does Tim do?
The issue about Tim is Tim might not be able to re-raise here.
Right, he might just flat call here.
But the thing is, though, if you know that Ken Berg plays a trap game and then he could do this with a 5 that's not a full house, would you want to re-raise for value? That's the issue.
But if Ken plays a trap game, could he have pocket 3s?
Could have pocket 3s. He could have 5-3, possibly. But again, though, there's more possibilities that he might have a 5 that's not a full boat here than a full house. And he could make this move. And let's see what Ken does. He's going to re-raise. He's going to re-raise, and I like it. Looks like a $5,000 re-raise there. He's going to re-raise, and this pot is approaching, again, 16 or 17,000. I think it was a $5,000 re-raise.
He threw a $5,000 chip into the pot.
Yeah. It's a chip from a different casino. It's a different color.
It still plays.
Yep. So I think we're talking about, I want to say, about a $16,000 pot, and Ken moves all in. He moves all in for the rest.
Now Tim's going, what did I do? I just opened myself up to make a decision. But if he evaluated it, knowing that this was a possibility and knew that his hand was good, I mean,
how much
you
more
make
is
the call.
it? How much more is it? That's the issue. The pot is well over 20,000 again. Again over 20,000. The raise is only 3,500 more, Shirley. I can't imagine that he's not going to call. It's only 3,500 more.
Well, I mean, Tim, that's the one thing I really like about him. I mean, he just thinks these things through. It's amazing some of the conclusions he comes to, and he did come to the conclusion that he should re-raise, that his hand was good. And now he might be questioning himself.
Pot is about 20 to 21,000, 3,500 to call.
34.50?
I think he's going to call here. Again, Ken can do that with any 5. Any 5.
All right, you can keep the 50.
He wants you to keep the 35, too.
I want you to keep the 34, too.
Let's see what happens here. I mean, if he wasn't comfortable in making a $3,500 call to a re-raise, why did he re-raise Ken's raise on the river?
I think he actually thought his hand was good, but now he's just going to reevaluate it. I'm sure that he probably will call.
But what I'm saying is, if you're going to re-raise Ken on the river, Ken raises you on the river, and you re-raise him, you have to call here. You have to if you're going to re-raise him.
You can still reevaluate it.
If you're not comfortable
Ken's
calling
not
the re-raise, I can't see it for 3,500. He can make this play with any 5.
You can no. I totally disagree with you.
Sure, the pot's $21,000.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Bart. Just like I said earlier with Barry, the pot was $20,000. Yet we know that Vic had the best hand because that's the way Vic plays. If he fires, Ed. That Ed had the best hand, and it didn't matter if he was getting the right price on it. He shouldn't have called that $6,000. Yeah, he smacked him in his head.
Well, let's see what
Tim put in the re-raise. I can almost guarantee, being almost certain that his hand was good. Okay, but when Ken, the type of player that Ken is, and we know he likes to trap. I mean, you've said it, comes back over the top, you have to reevaluate. I mean, you don't have to, but he's going to, and I'm sure he'll make the call. But he's going to reevaluate it.
He makes the call, and he's got the straight. Again, number 1, 2, and 3, the 3 biggest hands at Live the Bike history, over a $23,000 pot, and Tim's got it. He's got it with the straight. Unbelievable. And look at this. Yosh grabs Ken's chips.
Ken doesn't even want to give him the chips. Yosh has grabs for him.
Unbelievable. Wow.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, you can't sit here and question Tim Fan for the way that he does things.
I'm not questioning it. All I'm saying is that, listen to me. What I'm saying is that if you bet on the river, okay, and Ken raises you, if you don't feel comfortable putting in a re-race because you think he has a full house, then you just call them.
He did feel comfortable. Like I said, he
re-raises, he's got to then call. He has to then call.
No, he thought his hand was good. That's why he put in the re-raise. But that doesn't mean that if a person comes then back over the top that you don't take a step back and say, okay, did I make the wrong read here? I thought that I had the best hand. That's why I put this re-raise in. He was probably expecting, he probably put Ken on exactly what he had, that he had the 5 with the big kicker. And that Ken would just call, but when Ken goes back in over the top, then Tim has to take a step back.
And that is just incredible. Look at the amount of chips the Tim Fan has. Look at the amount.
I know.
It's
it'll be interesting once he gets them all stacked up and we can actually figure out how much he has. Well, it looks like he has a minimum of 15 stacks of 2,000s. That's 30,000. Plus, we know he had a big chip, right? A $5,000 chip.
Well,
he probably has like 50,000.
I think you and I have done enough arguing on that hand. I just want to replay the action so that everybody out there in the internet land can put their own 2 cents in.
Did they not see it?
Well, I just want to replay the amounts and the action that.
Okay, well, let me. Okay.
Tim bet. Okay, on a gut shot. Ken called. Mm-hmm. The turn came, and the pot was about 35. The pot was about, I want to say about maybe 1,000 to 1,500 at that time. It went check on the turn. Tim bet 1,700 on the river when he made the straight. Ken raised him to 4,000. Okay. Then Tim Fan came over the top and re-raised him 5,000 more. Mm-hmm. Then Ken Berg raised again his all-in 3,500 more, making the pot about $21,000 and 3,500 to call. And then Tim Fan called, and the pot was about $24,000 to $25,000 at the end. Mm-hmm. So, and I think we've put our 2 cents in.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone else can put their 2 cents in now.
Well, I want to say one more thing about it. But it's not necessarily, even really technically about this hand. It's about one thing that Mark told me, which I told you about this. That Mark was saying that, because he's an announcer for the PPT and stuff like that, that sometimes, you can't question certain people, really successful poker players, sometimes because you might not understand the play, but that's just because you don't understand the play. It's not really necessarily that you should be questioning this pro. It's just that, I don't even know how exactly he said it. It was just the way that he said it just really made sense to me. Maybe it's not a whacked out move. Maybe you just don't understand it.
Well, he made the call at the end.
Right. He reevaluated and thought his hand was probably good, because I still don't know if he knew for sure his hand was good. But he weighed it But I don't think there's anything wrong with making a move, and then when someone makes another move, you say, whoa,
Right. Tim Fan's gonna raise here. This is the first time he's played an unorthodox hand. 8-4 of hearts. And Barry's called. Pocket tens. So our heads up.
First time, I think he won it with a straight flush with 3-6 of hearts.
Well, I know, but 8-4 is a little. And look at this. Barry flops a set.
Flops a set. There.
Yeah. And I don't know if he can get. He's gonna check it. See if Tim makes a continuation bet here.
Now, of course, Tim doesn't even stack him in 20, so he can't see exactly how much he has.
He's going to bet. We're getting word that Tim has anywhere between $40,000 and $50,000 on the table. Unbelievable. Now, he's bet here, and Barry's got the set. So let's see how Barry plays it. It's a $1,400 bet here. And Barry is going to put in a check raise.
3,000.
He's going to make it 3,000 to go, and I think that this one, that Tim is going to lay this one down pretty well. He's got 8 high. Well, he's taking a while here, but I think it's just an act.
Good idea. Start drinking.
Yeah, Frank says he's going to start drinking, Shirley.
That what?
Frank's going to start drinking.
But you know, the funny thing is we've had so much action, we don't even need him to get all buzzed. And
Yeah. He's looking at him. I think he was thinking, well, is Barry just making a move on me? But he's not. And Barry takes it down. There you go for Barry. He's going to need to climb his way up here.
he's generous. Barry stuffed like crazy, and he still puts the dollar clock up.
Yeah.
Hats off. Consolation Kenny, I almost shit in my can. I can tell right now there might be a,
Button's going to move over here to seat 8.
If he raised like about 8,000.
And how much is Ken Burton going to rebuy there for in seat 2? He's going to rebuy for 5, so he's probably one of the only ones that hasn't gotten busted in the field so far tonight.
Is this only his first rebuy?
Yeah, well, it's either his first or his second, right?
It could be a second, but you could do. I think it's. I thought that he had already rebought.
Well, you don't have to
because you
buy
can do a
for
short,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
You could do a short.
That's true.
There's a lot of different things that happen, Everything comes into account.
I think what the discussion is, we'll get to it throughout this hand, about the raising for information and why some people on some internet forums might not like it, is because it opens you up to the possibility of a re-raise, and against a tricky player, you're always opening yourself up to that. It's just something to think about. I think it's something that's valuable and no limit. But it's just, you can make raises in limit that are way more vulnerable hands than in no limit. Because you're always exposing yourself to losing your entire stack.
I don't know
in
where
no
you
limit.
are, but you know what?
Yeah, but if you're raising for information, and someone gives you that information, you're not really going to lose your entire stack, right?
But against like a cagey player, though, you every time you raise, you open it up to a re-raise. 10-8, 9-10 here, and Vic has got trips here on the turn.
A couple of years ago, it might have.
And I think it went
a 9
check,
with
check.
a gut shot.
And the river is an 8. Check, check.
I go bust, get another 50.
And now Vic is going to bet here.
And poor Vic's not getting paid.
Well, wait a minute, though. Frank's got a 9. I mean, the flop went...
Yeah, but it's 10, 8, 8.
It's Frank. Let's see.
Okay, he's getting called. What do you know?
He makes the call. There it is. And Vic is going to take it down over a $5,000 pop there with ace-10. Wow. The action
What
is
do I know?
crazy today. Absolutely nuts. And Tim Fan, I mean, my God. He is by far the big winner.
Oh, yeah.
Close to $50,000. Absolutely incredible.
If he's got 30 or 40 in front of him, you get 10 right away. If he's winning big, you get 20. Your credit still good standing.
I think I did use my limit one day with yours.
Pink chips are $50 chips, white chips are 20 or 100.
Or 100.
Those purples are 25s.
Right.
Light purples are 5,000.
They're bigger.
Yeah. And greens are
I wonder where his $5,000 chip is. Is it?
It's right. Is it right underneath?
No, underneath that one.
It's a different chip, Shirley. It's from a different
that's
casino.
right. It's from another casino. I'm like looking for light purple, but.
Got a raise here by Vic Park.
And he actually has a hand this time.
Yeah. And Mike
No
Wu's going to
tilting
call
here. He has
ace-9
kings.
of clubs. So we're heads up.
Oh, my gosh.
What a flop for Mike.
He is not tilting now, but he will be after this hand.
What a flop. And Vic checks. Vic checks. Ace high with a nut flush draw. We've just seen some crazy hands so far.
Yeah, I was kidding about that being rigged.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think Live with the Bike's rigged. I don't think online poker's rigged.
Well, Vic is just going to check. Looks like he's just going to check fold here with his kings.
But man, we've seen some hands.
Oh, there's a great shot.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah.
He mucks. There you go. Now, you know, he hasn't shown it on this show, but he's actually a pretty good player.
Well, Vic is. I think Vic just got into. I mean, he's.
I think he let his emotions get the best of him for a while, but
you
I
know,
think he's going to gain his composure.
I mean, the other thing too, there's some discussion on there about the ace-7 hand against Tim Fan with a set of 10s. He made a re-raise as a steal out of the. A re-raise out of the steal out of the straddle spot, and then when he flopped the ace, I guess he figured he just wasn't going to get away from it, you know. And you know, that's probably part of the problem with, you know, having ace-7 out of the position. I mean, you know, not only does he lose to a bigger ace, but in that case he lost to a set as well. So.
Damien, you're playing a lot fewer hands than Ed ever plays.
He's minding the money. That's his job.
We need you to have a little gambling, dude.
And this pot looks like we're going to see multi-way action. 7-way action. 9, deuce, 4, couple close. Ken's got top pair. Frank Mariani has top pair.
500.
Ken's got him out kicked. Ken's going to bet 500, and Frank's going to call. And we're heads up here. Mr. Kookaroo against Mr. Lakers. It's about a $1,700 pot. Oh, wow. The turn is a 9. What else, Shirley, in this game? Are you kidding me? The case 9. And Frank bets 800. Ken, of course, traps. He checks. Frank bets. This is unbelievable. And Ken Berg is going to check raise. He's going to make it 2,000 more to go.
2,000 more.
Absolutely incredible. And let's see what Frank Mariani does. Pot's 5,500 now. Looks like Frank's going to move all in. Well, Ken's got about 2,500 left in front of him. If Frank moves all in here, Ken's obviously going to call. And once again, we've got about a $10,000 pot. Frank Mariani's going to need to spike a 5 here to win, a 4 to chop, or a deuce to chop. And here we go to the river. And the river's an ace. And Ken Berg is going to double through there.
Nice,
the
man.
case 9.
Can't lose them all.
Wow. Unbelievable. You know, it's funny, Shirley and I we've often had strategical discussions, you want to call them arguments, but that actually is the great thing about poker, because I don't think that there's always
one way.
answer.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Ed still hasn't even been back in the game yet.
I know. And Damon's probably just sitting there licking his chops going, when can I catch one hand?
Boy, is this game playing huge. Button here.
500 more.
Ace Jack here from Vic.
2,000.
Heads up. Ten, 8-5 with a couple of spades. Check, check. Turn is an 8. Check, check again. And the river's a jack. And look at this. The ace jack's going to play.
Right.
Wow. So both players have hit top pair.
How much?
2,000.
And Vic is going to bet 2,000 here on the river. And Tim calls. He overbet the river by a lot. And Tim called. Sometimes we see that technique at the end. This is just hand after hand after hand. Unbelievable. Overbets the
and
river.
Finally, Vic gets something from Tim Fan.
150. Thank you.
Well, yeah. Finally.
Yeah, finally.
Unbelievable.
So, Tim, Tim is still winning. Quite a bit of money.
Oh, I see how it is now. How is it? No more love. I feel the anger and the hatred.
So, yeah, there's a lot of discussion going on about, what we were arguing about.
Yeah.
Basically, I don't know if people understand that I wasn't saying that a call wasn't in order. I'm saying that it's not wrong for Tim to reevaluate the hand.
And what
and sometimes it's not an instant call, and sometimes if you know your hand is beat, you fold. But like I said, I thought he was going to make the call, but there's nothing wrong with stepping back and saying, okay, did I think this wrong?
We got a raise here by seat 2.
1,500.
C2 is 4-6.
Yeah, it looks like, is that seat 2 was the original raiser here?
6.
No, it was Yosh. And Frank Mariani's come over the top anyways for 1,500 with ace queen. So Frank rebought. How much did he rebuy for? 5,000 or 10? Yeah, he rebought for 5,000. Anyways, it looks like he's going to take it down. And my only thing about that hand is what I was going to say was that I just don't think Tim Fan or anybody that plays this game you can't put yourself in that spot to when you bet the river when Ken Bergs raises you. If you're going to re-raise him a third time or 3-bet him in essence in limit, you then almost have to call a re-raise all in. Okay. Because if you weren't comfortable with the hand, then you would just call the re-raise. That's what I'm saying the second time. Because, again, and it's true, it's like you've got to be 85 to 90% sure with those times that your hand is beat. And that's what I was saying.
And, I agree with that for the most part, but I'm certainly not going to question Tim Fan about the reason why he does things. I mean, he's... I'm a successful poker player, but he can kick. I know he can kick my ass. Playing. I mean, he has more experience. He plays higher levels, and I'm not here to question. I mean, there's a reason, and we can only actually try to figure out why he's doing what he's doing. I mean, I don't think that it would be right for us to say it's wrong.
Right.
Especially with as much knowledge as he has. So, I mean, we can go ahead and say Ed Shonazarian's wrong. We can say Barry Woods is wrong.
Yosh's bet here with a flush draw. And Ken called with ace-10. Gut shot. And Yosh is going to need to bet this one to win it. And it looks like he is going to bet. Yeah, Ken's going to get out of there. Yosh takes it down.
And if Tim Fan told us why he did what he did, we could also think he's wrong. But, sometimes we just don't know.
Right, if he had actually given an explanation.
Yeah,
Sometimes we don't know exactly what people are thinking because of we can't read their minds.
We're back here, yeah.
Well, again, for anyone that's new to this show, tonight's game is sponsored by Poker Blue. So we're going to show you a little bit of some nice information. Keep your eyes glued to the TV.
Play just 4 hours on PokerBlue.com and qualify for our weekly free roll to win your choice of a seat at the World Poker Tour, the World Series of Poker, or, if you dare, a seat at Poker Blue's high-stakes whale game here on Live at the Bike. Get in on the action now because these free rolls are so small that they redefine the term overlay. To qualify, open an account on PokerBlue.com with $100. Then play 4 hours at $1 and $2 limit or any no-limit game. You can even start playing right now while watching Live at the Bike. Just click the PokerBlue.com banner on the right of your screen or log on to PokerBlue.com, bonus code BIKE. And don't forget, every week you play 4 hours gives you another chance to win.
And
we're back,
Ooh, isn't that nice?
Ooh.
Now, actually, Poker Blue, again, if you want to visit PokerBlue.com, they actually have one of the biggest Omaha high-low games that goes, I think it's 3 times a week. It's a 5,100 game every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, starting at 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific. They also do 30-60 limit hold'em games every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 o'clock. So check it out. Again, they only get about 150 people, sometimes as little as 100 in those free rolls, and it's for a World Series of Poker seat, a WPT seat, or a couple buy-ins on this show.
Have you ever checked out the Omaha games?
I have not. I never got a chance to.
I'm actually curious.
Yeah.
I actually might think about playing one.
Yeah.
But I just, I should play in that.
And here we go. 7-5-4. check here. Turn is a jack. I think it looks like heads up between Yosh and Kenberg. Yosh is going to bet.
Oh, there you are.
Ken calls with king high, surely. Yosh is betting into a gut shot, and the river's an ace. And again, well, Yosh is not. And look, Ken's going to bet here because he needs to bet to win.
Actually, he really doesn't, but he thinks he does.
So, what a night we've had so far. What a night. So we're actually getting word when we're going to do a chip couple, we're actually getting word that Tim Fan has loaned Frank Mariani 5,000 chips.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
There you go. Yeah.
And he paid him back or something.
Button is in seat 8.
$200.
And Frank's going to raise. Frank's going to raise it up here with deuce 3 offsuit.
You could have asked me. He straddles my blind, big blind, and you raise my little blind.
One
Can't get a hand. I can't get a hand.
5 players.
5-way action here. Ace 4-5 with a couple of hearts. Doesn't look like anyone has much of anything here.
400.
$400 bet here. Seat 1's going to call. So Yosh is calling with a gut shot wheel draw. He's got back to our heart, nut hearts with the king of hearts in his hand. And look at this, he hits it on the turn. Unbelievable. He's got the wheel. Damon is open-ended. And Yosh is going to bet $2,000.
Damon will not call $2,000.
No. But Frank will.
Frank
flopped the wheel. Look at that. He flopped the
they
wheel.
both have the same hand.
Unbelievable. And the river is an ace. I didn't pick that up. Frank flopped the wheel. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah,
So what bad
anyone
luck.
have the cash, get down here and get in this game.
Yeah. Yosh bets 2,000. Frank calls. Chop this one
I
up.
don't need the damn.
Unbelievable.
Show up.
Wow.
I don't believe that. I know what's going on. I just I got the perfect flop, and and this young,
Unbelievable.
nice, fine gentleman, get out of my way. I know what's going on. I think I know what's going on around here.
Wow.
Worried about something else.
I wasn't worried. I want to see how this thing is going to turn out. I know you had a bicycle. I said, what's the joke?
And Yosh, as always, drinking the wine at the table, right?
Uh-huh.
This time it's white
I think he might just drink the wine to encourage all the other players to drink. Because you notice he buys the bottle and then shares it with everybody.
Yeah.
Flop the.
You know, when you have the type of money that these guys have.
Does
Yeah.
that, you know, they drink with their
I was always somebody had
guests.
an ace, so I could make a move, but nobody had an ace. Nobody had ace queen.
And here we go with a chip count. Tim Fan, $45,000.
Huge winner.
Ed, Damon is playing over Ed as 30,500. Vic's got 20,000. Barry's creeping up. He's back up to 13,000.
Look at Avo down there. Have we even seen Avo
Yeah, we
in a
haven't
hand?
seen Avo at all.
Bad hand.
Well, let's get into the next hand here. We got a raise here by seat
I'm sorry.
7. King, queen is suited. Tim Fan had limped in with a little suited connector, and
I'll play your
it
hand.
seems like the players kind of respect Mike Wu as a real solid player because,
Yes.
I mean, Vic Park
I'm sorry.
checked a flop with kings earlier, ace 9
And
8 up,
much.
check fold.
Check folded, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You going to sit here? That's fine.
look at this post by Gone Broke on 2+2. He says, "Where the hell did Ed go? Instead of doing a hit and run with his big win, he put in a tight player to kill 2 hours until the show's over."
Yeah, well, you forgot the part where it says he's not as dumb.
Yeah, he's not as dumb as he
He's
looks.
not as dumb as he looks.
Because everyone had complained before about him leaving. We got a raise here by Frank Mariotti with ace 9 offsuit. Seat number 7, Mike Wu's got a smooth call with ace queen of spades. Barry Woods is in there with pocket 6s. And look at this. We've got 1, 2, 6-way action. $2,400 pot. Wow, Jack 5 deuce.
And it, yeah,
Mike-
flopped flush, ace high flush there.
Well, it's a flush draw.
Is there
Mike
not-
Wu's got.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Mike Wu's got overcards and a flush draw.
I saw 3 spades out there, but that's not. Jack of clubs.
He's going to
2
bet
spades.
1,500. Let's see if Ken Kookaroo Berg gets involved. He's got King Jack here on this board. Jack 5 deuce with 2 spades.
You just can't say Ken without saying Ken Kookaroo, huh? Ken Kookaroo chicken.
And he's going to call. So, boy, the pot's over $5,000 now. The turn's at 10. Mike picks up more outs with his gut shot.
Over 3,000.
And let's see how this hand is going to play out now, this turn.
Ace, king, queen, or spade. Wow.
He's all in. He's not all in. You're
And,
all in.
and Ken has moved all in. Is that right? Ken has moved all in?
Sounds like it.
Ken has called the flop and he's moved all in here on the turn. And I want to say, this is a math
It's
problem
about-
now. Mike Wu's got about 3,000 there. The pot now would be about $9,000, 3,000 to call. Mike's got overcards, he's got a gut shot, and he has a spade. Now, his ace is the only overcard that's good here. Well, actually,
No,
excuse
it's
me.
not.
Excuse me, he can catch a queen, an
A queen,
ace, a
king,
spade,
or a king.
Yeah, or a king.
Queen, king, or ace.
Yeah.
But he has to figure out, because we know that, but he's got to think, is my queen good? Is
Ken
my
could
king
have Jack
good?
10.
Is it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could have Jack 10.
Right.
So, I mean, if it's just a pure flush draw, it would just be 9 outs. He's getting about, again, he's getting 3 to 1 on his money. 9,000 in the pot, he's got to call 3,000. He's getting 3 to 1 on his money. And if he knew what Ken had, this is a call.
I think so.
But, I mean, you got to put Ken on a range of hands again. If Ken's got Jack 10, and the only thing that's going to be good here is my king or my flush.
Right, yeah,
Well,
he's got to figure out.
That's right. It's the pure outs are the flush draw and the gut shot to the king, which for him you would think would be 12 outs. And that's about 1 chance in 4, and the pot is laying him 3 to 1. So he's going to make the
He
call.
makes the call.
And here we go.
No deal? No deal, right? Run and run?
And I don't. Are they going to do a deal here?
They're talking about it.
What do you want to do?
Sometimes
I got the flush out, got
Pot's at $12,000 here.
I guess they're running it once because they didn't make a deal.
Well, they can make a deal after they expose
After they
their
see the
cards.
cards?
Yeah,
1, 2,
yeah.
or 3 times.
They're talking about it.
17 out.
Yeah, and Yosh is actually
15, 17.
he's got 3 outs to the ace, 3 outs to the queen, 2 more kings, that's 7, and 9 flush outs, right? 16?
9 spades.
Did I do that right?
But you have to subtract the ones that you already
3 times
counted.
I burned.
The 2 flush
That's right.
cards
One
that you already
it's 15
counted.
outs. You're right. 15 outs because of the
I
king.
think it's
Turns to
4.
7.
I think
The
it's
second time's the 7. Ken's one of both, and there the third time is a spade. And Mike's gonna win
1/3.
1 out of 3. Yep, 1 out of 3 times. Yeah, Mike had 3 aces to catch, 3 queens to catch. There was actually
36.
3 more kings, but you have to subtract that from the
The
flush.
1.
So and then the 8 more flush cards.
All right, take 36 and give it to Kenny.
So,
That's right. He gets 36 here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we understand that.
well, 3, 3, and then 2 more kings. 3, 3, 2, and then
And this
8.
goes 3 ways?
That's 16.
16.
That's what you said originally.
Okay.
2, 1.
We're doing this on the
I
fly,
thought,
folks.
yeah.
But anyways,
Sometimes
you
it
won 1
takes
out of
us
3.
a little longer than
Yeah.
others.
You won it 1 out of 3 times. Could have caught, any ace, any queen,
Well, I don't know what's going on.
any king, or any spade.
In their position, I never would have done it.
Well, you never do it.
I never do it on any scenario.
Yeah, 9 spades, 2 remaining kings because we're not counting the king of spades. And
Mathematically,
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, a favorite is a favorite. That's
8, 2, 3, and 3. I think it was 16 outs. Button has moved over here to seat 2.
it worked out like it's supposed to. Yeah.
But again, I mean, it was just one of those things where even if a guy has Jack 10 at that point, the pot is laying you 3 to 1. And he's got 12 outs. He's got 1 chance in 4. It's about right. And if he doesn't have Jack 10, if he just has a single pair, then you're even,
Then you're
you're
definitely-
gravy. You're gravy there.
Check
Oh,
line.
gravy, but he only won 1 out of 3.
Right. Got a raise here by Tim Fan, and he's hit top pair.
Check line.
Wow, he's bet 800, and Frank Mariani instantly
He
calls him
calls,
with King Deuce. Turns a 10.
Check line.
Frank checked,
It
and
says check line, but the card was already out there.
Fan checked right behind him. And I think if Frank checks one more time, I think Tam can safely. Well, it's a 3rd club.
I got an 8.
No, he's not. He's not going to bet it here. It was a 3rd club there on the river, and the ace is good.
You're good. Everything's good.
Tim Fan is going to win another pot. Unbelievable. The button's going to move over here to seat 3. And there's Avo. Boy, we haven't heard much from him at all, have
Nope.
we? He's got 350, king, queen suited. And Frank Mariotta's going to call with suited ace, ace-5 of diamonds. Tim Fan's got 8-9 of diamonds. And we've got about $1,100 pot here. King 7-7. So Avo's hit top pair with the king queen, and he's going to bet it.
7.
And
nobody's going to play with him.
Doesn't look like it. He's going to take it down. Boy, there just hasn't been much going on with him and his cards, you know? It's been crazy. All night. Button has moved over here to seat 4. And we're going to see a raise here by Vic Park. And he's down quite a bit tonight. Quite a bit. And look at these two. They're going to go at it again, heads up. King 9 for Tim Fan. 10-4-3 with a couple of diamonds.
8.
And Vic is going to bet. He's going to bet 800. And again, Tim Fan leaves his ego at the door. He's not going to make a move. And Vic takes it down. Well, this is definitely, I mean, it's great, again, for all you new viewers out there. I mean, it's sponsored by Poker Blue. Live the rush. Really, this is one of the biggest no-limit hold'em games that goes on. I mean, anywhere. I mean, I know that they sometimes play 500, 1,000 at special occasions, 100, 200. But especially in this city right now, 5,100, this is a huge, huge game.
3.
There's $150,000 in chips on the table, 3 times the amount that we started with about 3 hours ago.
Right.
15.
Pocket aces here for 1,200. We get a raise here by Yosh. And a re-raise by seat 4. And finally, we're going to see Damon play a hand. And look, he's not
It has to be aces, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm fine.
And the button moves over here to seat 6. And I wonder how much. I think Damon's down a little bit with those chips, wouldn't you think?
I would think a little bit, but not as much as Ed would be if he was still in this game.
That's a good point. Or you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Yeah, we got a raise here. It looked like it was a bite. Was it Yosh that brought this one in? Yeah. Oh, actually, it was Vic. 9-7-4 with a couple clubs. Well, Frank Mariotta's got a flush draw. Yosh just got gut shot with overcards, and Vic has middle pair.
12.
Vic's gonna bet. He's gonna bet 1,200. He's gonna lead. He's gonna continue with the betting lead. And Frank is gonna call. No. Is Yosh gonna chase? He's got backdoor diamonds. If he caught his 8 and it was a club, it would not be good. But he does have overcards. Now he's out of there. The turn is a deuce. Vic still has the best hand here with second pair.
Who's up there? Who's up there?
He's reaching. Well, sometimes, I mean, I'm a guy that struggles with my chips. But every time I seem to see Vic move forward with the chips, he's
he
stumbling
has
with them. But I definitely can't cut him out like that,
Right.
2 at a time, that's for sure. He's got about 4,000 here. Looks like 2 stacks of white. And Frank's out of there. Vic's going to take it down. What a night. What an unbelievable night. 5,100. No limit hold'em. A lot of the times the guys are straddling, which makes it, again, here we go, a straddle. Going to make it $200 to call. We've been seeing 4, 5, 6, even 7-way action sometimes.
Right.
And these guys are not bringing in for small raises. We've seen $300, $400, $500 pre-flop raises. And the pots are commonly $1,500 to $2,000 as we look at each flop.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Wu's picked up
700.
Ace 8. He's going to make it 700 to go, but look at Av. He's got Ace King in the small blind. Let's see if he comes back over the top. Looks like he's got about 5,000 in front of him. Let's see what he does.
What?
And Mike Wu has what, maybe 2,000 and change there? I don't know if that's a big $1,000 chip behind that white stack. Well, would you might come over the top right now, Shirley, here with the Ace King? I mean, or come over the top big all in?
I mean, it depends on how many chips he has, I would imagine.
He's got maybe 2,200 left. Oh, he's just going to call.
2,200 he has.
Oh, you're talking about Avo. Avo's got
Yeah.
about 5,000 to 6,000, but Mike Wu only has about 2,200 left.
Oh, okay.
On the button.
2 players.
Oh, wow. Ace King 8. 2 people flop 2 pair.
pair,
Heads
yes.
up. Ace 8 and Ace King. This is just sickening night. And Mike's going to move all in here. He's going to move all in for about 3,000. And Avo's going to call. Ace King against Ace 8. Unbelievable. The turn is a king, and Avo fills up here. Wow. I mean, just hand after hand after hand. Permutation after permutation.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
Wow.
Seems like we're fixing the deck to create action for the show, huh?
Unbelievable. I mean, look at that on Mike. I kind of make a semi-steel raise on the button with Ace 8. Flop comes Ace 8 King.
Right.
Not bad, right?
I know.
My goodness. Seat 5 here. He's going to make it 400 to go. And everybody's called. Frank Mariani pre-flop with pocket 4s. Jack deuce deuce. Not necessarily that bad for pocket 4s, but Barry, he's got pocket 10s. No one has a jack here. 1,600. And Barry's going to lead right out here. He likes to do this when he plays his mid-pocket pair. I mean, he might do this with pocket 5s here in this spot. Frank's going to get away, and Barry takes it down. Well, I mean, good for Barry. I mean, he's kind of creeped back up, hasn't he?
Yeah, I don't think anywhere near where he was, but
isn't he?
He's making a little progress.
Remember, we had him at about 13,000 last chip count. If he's got 15,000 now, is it safe to say that he's only down 5,000 for the night now? After taking those bad beats, or am I wrong about that?
I don't know.
Well, he was in for 20,000 in buy-ins, but doesn't he have about 15,000?
It looks like he has about 15 to me, but
200.
Maybe he did another
maybe
rebuy.
14.
Yeah.
So he's only stuck 6,000.
Wake up.
It looks like he's really only stuck about 5,000 or 6,000.
Okay.
4 players.
That's not the worst thing.
Just like what we're thinking. What we're saying.
4-way action. 8, 7, 10. Frank's going to come out and bet here with Jack 8. He's going to bet 600. Yoshi's got... No, Yoshi's not in hand. Frank's going to take it down.
Winner.
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting Poker Blue commercial, especially that shot, Shirley, when the cards were down on the table.
Like right in between her legs when she pushed him out? That one?
Well, I was talking about the shot where it looked right into her cleavage.
Oh,
right
not the one
into
that
her
was into her
cleavage.
crotch. Like that one.
Yeah. Right in there, yeah. You can drive a truck through that thing. It was so big.
That's bad.
Frank is gonna raise it up here. 8-5 offsuit. Abo's got pocket jacks. Looks like he's gonna come over the top. Gonna make it 1,200 to go. Frank is gonna call. And here we go. Jacks against 8-5 offsuit. Set of jacks for Abo.
Frank only has a gut shot.
I'm all in.
Oh, and he goes all in with it.
Wow. He's going to move
Come
all
on,
in.
Frank.
And Abo's got top set.
Of course, he's not going
And this
anywhere.
pot's going to be about $7,000 or $8,000.
He's just thinking he can't believe his luck.
Frank needs a 9, and it doesn't come, and Abo's going to take it down there with the set of jacks. Just like that when we said Avo hadn't really, been playing much. Just picked up a couple of hands. And I think that Frank's
That's
down
nice
a
when
few
someone
fives.
throws money into you when you flop top set.
Yep, it is.
Thank you.
Quarter. Give me a bottle of water, please.
Unbelievable.
This one's been room temperature for a while. Hasn't been open for a while.
The celebrity poster on 2+2. Baron Vanger Toth, Shirley. He was with us since the beginning. He's coming out next week, I think, so we get to see him on the show. He was a big fan of Denny. I think Denny's his favorite commentator.
Are you serious? You're joking. Right? I mean, I get shit and he likes Denny. God.
No. I am joking.
And I have no defense. I don't know where my guy deep down truth is. He hasn't defended me once tonight.
Yosh raised here, and Vic came over the top. And, no, actually, Banger Marin, he was one of the first people to critique the commentating of the show about one weekend. It's been an ongoing
Now they
issue.
don't leave us alone. See, you're on 5 days, so they just have to accept you. It's me. I'm only on 2 days. They just give me shit when I'm on here. Go home and cry.
I wouldn't take it.
I most of the time I don't. Once in a while, okay, yeah. Once in a while it gets to me.
Raise.
Make it go to 1,000.
1,000 is the bet.
Well, we get a $1,000 raise here.
Tilting Frank, you got some.
Is it a $1,000 re-raise there by Frank Mariani in seat 5?
I don't
Got
know.
ace jack offsuit.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Vic has got ace 10 of clubs here, and he was dominating. So Vic tried to raise here, and he called. Wow. And now Frank is going to check, and it goes check, check. Frank's got the best hand here with ace jack. If he checks again, check, and now both players hit an ace. Wow, I can't believe that Vic didn't bet there on the king. And it goes check, check here again.
Ace jack.
It would seem like when Frank checked to you twice there, it would be a great time to bluff. But again, we can only speculate what he was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But Frank takes it down there with the ace. And I think the Lakers played tonight.
That's what I heard. And he's here.
Yeah. Well, I think they were away, right? They were away.
They were
they're
in Minnesota. Okay.
Minneapolis. The Timberwolves.
See,
Now, that's one of the
basketball I
sports that you
know.
follow,
Yeah.
right? The NBA?
Well, I don't follow it as much. I told you as soon as Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley left. But I know the team names, and I know that. Like yesterday, I asked. There's only what did I say? Something like there's only 10 football teams. There's 16 football teams, and you're like, no, there's 30.
32. Yeah.
See, because I don't even know that. But then once I thought about it, I was thinking, no, like when you do the football sheets, I've done the pools once in a while, and there's usually 15 games that you pick on. So obviously there has to be more than double that.
Wow, 2 people have flopped top pair here. Ace 7 deuce. Seat 7 was the razor there. And now Yosh is going to bet right in here with ace 10. And Mike will check the ace. And let's see how he plays it. He was the pre-flop razor. The pot was 1,600. Yosh bet, and it looks like Mike called. Pot is now about 3,000. Turns a queen, and Yosh picks up the nut flush draw. Mike's going to check. Again, it's about a $3,000 pot here. And Yosh is going to bet. And he's going to bet big. 4,000. And actually, those are big. That's about a 5. And that's going to put Mike all in. And Mike called. And Yosh is on a free roll. He's on a spade free roll here. Both players have the same hand. The pot is about $7,000, I want to say. And they're just going to run it one time. And the river's a spade, and Yosh gets there with the free roll. And there it is. He's got all of Mike's Woo's money again. Wow. Unbelievable. And again, when we talk about running the river or running cards multiple times, usually in a high-stakes, no-limit game, people will tend to do that because it reduces the variance. It doesn't affect the overall expected value of the hand, but if you're on a draw, you might run it 3 times. And what that basically means is each pot, the main pot, is split up into thirds. Or if you run it 2 times, the main pot is split up in half. And whoever wins each time wins that portion of the pot. So if you run it 3 times and you win 2 out of 3, you're going to get 2/3 of the main pot. Now, they just ran it once that time. There was no deal.
400.
Ace 10 offsuit here. Ace queen.
You're the big blind. He made it 4.
Don't call it, you have a good hand.
Frank is raised here. He's made it 400 to go. And Mike's going to come over the top. And Frank's got the best hand here. He's going to re-raise to 1,600, and Frank quickly calls. Quickly calls. And Mike Wu rebought for 5,000. He could lose it all here again.
Yeah.
This is incredible stuff. 6, 7, 8. See if Mike
needs a 9 or a 10.
Yeah. Well, Frank raised, Mike re-raised, and Frank called. Frank's got the queen of spades in his hand. Mike only has probably half of his stack left. He's already committed about 50% of the stack to this hand. That's the nature of, the restricted game, Shirley, when you buy him short. He's going to move all in for 2,500, which means the pot...
Go ahead.
Oh, Frank's going to fold.
Yeah.
Take the pot, sir.
Frank's not having a good night. He actually usually does pretty well on this show.
Yeah.
I think last couple of weeks he's won pretty good, right? If I remember correctly.
Well, maybe Ed's not coming back to the game, Shirley.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Insane. He won big, and then he...
I think we actually defended him a couple weeks ago, saying you won Ed in the game, you this and that. But then he's done it again, and he did it again.
He did it again, and last week he was pretty much at the table for about a total of 30 minutes out of the 4
hours. Yeah, because he kept getting up and taking breaks and long breaks.
Yeah.
And then he pretended he lost his glasses.
Well, I don't think he pretended.
I'm kidding.
Oh, he didn't pretend.
I know, I was kidding.
You're just giving Ed a hard time. And, we both know Ed, and he's a very nice guy.
He is a very nice guy. I was kidding.
Yeah. Vic has pulled the limp re-raise here with ace-queen, and he's going to take it down. Now, Ed is a very, very nice guy, and again, we don't mean to ever be personal on the show. Ed is
most of the
one of
time.
the people that makes the show work. I mean, if you're going to have a bunch of players that don't give any action and who are very tight, then the show just wouldn't be entertaining. So we always want to bend over backwards to, have Ed in this game. And he's a very, very nice guy. I mean, obviously, he tipped the dealer $100 when he won that pot. Super, super nice guy. I mean, sometimes you meet rich guys that are kind of arrogant and just self-centered, and
And he's not like that at all.
not like that.
No.
800.
Now, Frank Mariani's got pocket kings.
8 o'clock.
And Frank has raised it up to 800 here with pocket kings.
6 to go.
Ken Berg, he's got ace jack. He's going to call. I think the pot was in a straddled there by Vic Park, I believe. And we're heads up. Ace jack against pocket kings. And look at this. Frank Mariani's flop tops. How many top sets are we going to see? Check here on the flop.
That's a lot, yeah.
Well,
1,000.
now he's going to bet 1,000. Tried to let Ken catch up there. And is Ken trying to evaluate if he has the best hand here? Went check on the flop. No. He's going to let it go.
You have to laugh at the last post on 2+2. It says, just confirms that all forms of poker are rigged. And Tim Fan clearly has some pattern mapper inside that beanie.
Looks like he's eating away. He's been out of the game. Is he out of the game right now?
I don't know.
No, he's
he
not.
Doesn't have an out button.
No. Limp here. And Barry has limped. And it looked like Vic Park limped in early position there with ace-king suited. We're going to see six-way action. $600 pot. Deuce 3-6. Did anyone catch any bit of this? Doesn't look like it.
400.
So Frank is going to bet here with a wheel draw. And Tim is going to call. You think Tim's setting up a play here on the turn? Vic calls with ace-king. He's got backdoor clubs and overcards. And here we go. Turns a 6. See if Frank can keep firing. Frank's going to bet again. Oh, no, it got checked around, and the river's a 4. But Frank has the best hand. And now he's going to bet.
He does now, yeah.
And I don't think that anyone's going to call here. And it isn't. And it's funny, Shirley, we've been doing this show for about 8 or 9 months, and we love the interaction with the forum that started on the internet, which has kind of become the official forum, the 2+2 thread. And I never really read through 2+2 until the last few months, but now I really enjoy the site and I read it a lot.
Yeah,
there's sites, and there's interesting that a poster here, El Diablo, who I believe is a well-respected poster, plays a lot of online no-limit cash games, is on the thread, and he says that maybe he could come down here for Wednesday. I think that would be great. Of course, we've had Riverboat King here on the show multiple times, who's Jonas. He's a high-level, no-limit cash game player. He's a great player. Come on the show.
I'm wondering if I've played with that name. That name sounds familiar.
We got a raise here
I
by
wonder
Tim
if it's just
Fan.
from this show, though.
Tim Fan raised with Jack 10, and Barry re-raised the minimum with Pocket Queens. We've got a $1,600 pot here. And top set again.
Wow.
Queen 8-5 again.
The only drag is no one's really hitting anything when they do this.
Look at this. He's going to call with the gut shot.
Yep.
He's going to call with the gut shot. The turn is a 7.
15.
And now Barry's going to bet 1,500.
Which is still a little small.
Yeah. Well, Tim has to hit a 9.
Too gummy, you're right.
And he's going to fold.
I thought you were like
There it
Jerry.
is. Well, Shirley, we've got about a half an hour. Actually, we've got about 20 minutes left in the show, and we have some technical problems
Prior.
in the beginning of the
Right.
show. We're going to do the last 20 minutes of the
With a
show
few more.
with just a couple more. We just can't do close-ups right now. We've
Right.
had some trouble with, but we can still see the cards and call all the action.
I
So,
stop.
as opposed to rebooting our system, we're going to stick with it here.
Yeah, I got a weak head too. Yeah, a week and a half.
Oh, wait a minute.
We got a little shot of something.
Huh. Pot is limped around here. 5-way action. Ace, Jack, 4. Couple of hearts.
Nice flop for Ace Jack.
Yeah.
That's seat 4. Ed. Oh, Damon. Has 2 pair. He just calls. He
Look
has
at this.
aces and jacks.
Yeah, king, queen bet with the
And with-
nut flush draw.
With 3
Vic.
hearts out there,
And
he
it
doesn't
just called
raise.
and Frank Mariani called with ace deuce. And there's the turns of 9. And king, queen with the king of hearts. Vic's there. And Vic's going to bet.
5.
He's going to bet 500. Well, Damon playing it pretty conservatively,
Yeah.
that hand. He's going to fold. And Vic takes it down. Ace, Jack, 4.
I would have played it differently.
Yeah.
I said no show cards.
So again, we got about 20 minutes left in the show. And we've kind of had a little bit of a technical struggle, but
Oh,
what
yeah,
a
this
show.
has been a doozy of a show.
But what a show. I mean, what a show. Absolutely incredible. Amazing what we have seen here on the show tonight. Absolutely amazing. Frank Mariani is going to bring this one in for, looks like 400 with ace king.
I don't believe it's the first walk I've had.
And he's going to take it down.
Somebody's been telegraphed in my hands.
Just respect you, Frank.
I can't believe
That
it.
plus 8 other people had shit hands. And Damien was still asleep, so he's, you know. When he was told to actually guard the chips, he was guarding the chips.
Tell you what, you
Taking
know,
that too literal.
He said
I mean,
the guard.
literally, I mean, it's,
I don't think Ed told him to
talk
put it in
about,
the
you
ball.
know, this,
Yeah, we want Ed back here.
this is like the Swiss guard.
Can we
I
set a
mean,
limo?
You know how the Swiss guard protects
Barry
his
says, can we
book?
send a limo for Ed?
Better than that.
200.
Yoshi's going to raise here. And Damon calls with ace 8. We
Let out
got
of a
3-way
turtle,
action.
we need a chip out.
It's all right. I'm on your side.
10-6-4. And Frank is going to bet here with a 4, and he's going to take it down. I think Frank Mariani said having Damon play over Ed's chips is like the Swiss guard for his chips.
That's funny. I don't have too much experience playing with Damon. I played one tournament, I think, with him, maybe 2, and I thought he was just extremely tight. But I was able to make a few moves, you know, because of it.
Right.
But I don't know, you know, when he plays, because he plays on Live at the Bike once in a while in the bigger game on Friday, right? And I'm not ever announcing on that night. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, not that much, but he doesn't. He's not a big fan of, you know, showing his cards, so yeah. So we're gonna get into the next hand here, it looks like. Button is in seat 5.
King of clubs exposed.
Who tried a big card?
Get a raise here by Yosh. She's got king, queen suited. Ace, king is going to call in seat 2. Seat 4 is going to call with jack, 10 of hearts. Hearts are represented, and Barry's
Look
in
at
there
that.
with queen 9.
I mean, on our board, it's a little different. You guys can't quite see it, but all the way out across the top line, you have a straight flush. We have
Right.
10 jack, queen, king, ace.
Oh, no
Because
one
we
hit
can
really
actually
anything.
see the window, each window.
Yeah.
Where you going?
Nowhere.
Damon's going to bet here. He's got an open-ended straight draw. It's a $1,600 pot. He bets $1,200. And I think with his tight image, he's going to take it. Look at that. Look at Barry muck queen 9 like it was nothing on that flop there against Barry's bet, against Damon's bet.
11:30.
I like the bet. I mean, I like the muck.
Yeah. I mean, Damon's played it tight all
You know,
night
it
long.
so happens that Barry mucked the best hand, but
Yeah.
against Damon, I mean, what can you do?
Yes, and then
When
we'll
I
look
first
it up.
sat down, I was 25 and a half years old.
You want to or you don't?
What?
You want
The
to
first
or you
half
don't?
hour, I was
What? Gamble 1,000 that hand was the worst hand amongst all 4 of us.
I'll take your word for it. I had a pair.
And Barry's saying, giving him a little giving him a little,
Wasn't worth $1,000. Especially with somebody
giving him a little information earlier, saying that I had the best hand. You laid it down.
Well, after you left, she did.
Huh?
Careful
Oh,
what you
she
ask for. I'm
she
not
gonna roll after I
gambling.
left?
You told me that.
Well, when I was there, she was frozen.
Simple call with
that?
for a check.
Cece.
Button is in seat number 7.
Well, you think she's ever loose?
Raise, make it 450.
And seat 3 is going to raise. He's going to make it 450.
Never loose.
Seat 5 is going to call.
1,500 more.
Wow, wait a minute. Frank Mariani's going to re-raise. King Jack of Diamonds. Seat 3 raises. Ace 9 of spades. Mariani's going to re-raise with King Jack of Diamonds. 1,500.
Well, time to gamble.
And Vic calls. Is Vic? No, he's not.
Yes, no gamble.
He's not.
All right, that's it.
What are you waiting for?
Okay, we need some people to gamble at this stage.
I'm hurting. You know what I mean?
You're not going to gamble, you're out.
Most likely he's going in, but still. We all thought the same thing.
Yeah, it's easy.
And we have about 15 minutes left in the show. So again, tomorrow night, again, for all you new viewers out there, tomorrow night is our $500 no limit hold'em. It's an unrestricted buy-in no limit game, so it's different than this game.
Right.
I mean, this is a restricted buy-in game. It's a big damn game, but it's restricted buy-in. Tomorrow's 500 unrestricted 510 no limit, and Friday is 1020 no limit. And for those of you,
How much is it? Oh, it's $1,000 minimum buy.
$1,000 minimum. And for those of you big guys like who are high limit posters on 2+2 with the no limit forums, that maybe you might actually consider coming here on Friday.
Friday, yeah,
Sometimes
Friday's
instead
a great
of
game.
Wednesday. Yeah, Friday is a
Whenever you
really
and I
good game.
in a tournament, you know, we always down the final 2.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Button has moved over here to Barry Woods in seat 9. And again, he got hurt early on, but it looks like he's creeping his way back up there. We think that he might only be even down just a few thousand now.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yeah, because we think he's in for 20,000.
Right. And in front of him, he has about 13, about 13. Well, more than that, 13.5.
Yeah.
So if we're right about him only being in 20, I mean, buying for 20,000, he's only stuck 6,000.
It could be a few of you, but it could be, be huge for me. So I'll be a whole bag of rice.
How would you care?
Oh, raise it.
Wow.
We got a raise by Frank, and Mike Wu's got pocket kings, and he's going to re-raise it to
Probably have
1,600.
about 10% chance.
My hand's probably not as good as his.
Frank's going to call with 6-7 offsuit. Little gamble in him. He's got some chips now. And we're heads up $3,200 in the pot. Frank's going to check blind with 76 offsuit. Mike Wu's got pocket kings.
That's all you could do.
Ace, queen, 5.
Yeah, on a re-raise. On the final all-in bet, that's all I can be.
Again, Frank checked blind. Mike's going to bet. 1,500.
Like 15,000 in front of him.
Yeah, Frank's going to be done with it.
That much exposure. I want to try with 2,000 more, but then lose 15 more.
And there's the big winner right there. Seat number 6 there on the left-hand side. There we go. Tim Fan. It's just amazing that we had a hand where he moved all in with a set of 10s against the lone ace and then commented on the fact that he went out in the main event. And then, everyone saw that last night.
Right.
This time, Vic
if
didn't
he didn't
catch
get
a running
knocked
full
out,
house.
yeah, if he didn't get knocked out, that would have been interesting to see.
Brutal.
That's bad.
I mean, the thing about what people said about Raymer against was it Cantor? The Queen Jack against Kings. I don't know if you caught the last couple episodes of the World
I haven't
Series.
watched it. Remember, I'm behind on it. But I remember reading about it on Poker Wire or something as it was actually going on. Either that or on Paulie's site, towpoker.blog.
Frank Mariani's going to raise it up to 700 here. He's going to get called by Tim Fan with King 10. Barry Woods is going to call with pocket 8s. And look at this. Everyone wants to be in the hand with Frank. 4-way action, $2,000 pot, ace 7-8, couple diamonds. And Frank is flopped top and bottom. And he's going to move
Barry
on.
flopped it.
Yeah, Barry's got a set. Barry's got a set. Top and bottom for Frank, and Barry's got a set. And let's see how Barry's going to play it. Does he want to raise here? There's a couple diamonds on board. Could be straight cards out there.
5,000 roughly.
So
Frank moved all in for 5.
Tim's out, right? I
Yep.
think Tim folded. So now it's up to Barry.
Barry's
And
just
there's
gonna-
only Vic behind him.
Well, let's see what he does here. He's just going to call. I mean, would you want to isolate here? I guess the bet in itself is big enough.
It's pretty big.
He's just going to call. And this pot's going to be over 10,000. Barry's going to win it here. Oh, wait a minute. No, aces. No, and the river is a 9. Wow. 8's full of 7s. Unbelievable.
You had the best hand when I went all in.
I was like, Barry's going to win in here. Then all of a sudden a 7 pops up
Right,
on the
gives him
turn.
the ace or the 7 draw. I mean,
Wow.
Frank was drawn for an ace, but once that 7 got there,
Yeah.
it gave him the quads option there.
Unbelievable.
So, you know, we didn't even talk about the tournament champions. We mentioned it last night, but did you know that Mike Maniso won?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it was really funny. I mean, you know, all the crap, or at least what people were saying,
Right.
you know, Mike was saying in there was so funny, and he ended up winning it.
But
So
before
that should make some great television.
Yeah, that will absolutely.
Yeah.
Before I forget, though, the hand was on the turn. Raymer had pocket kings.
Right.
Cantor made a call on the flop with overcards and a backdoor heart draw. He picked up the flush draw on the turn and moved all in, and then picked up the running heart on the river to beat Raymer with the overpair. And Tim Pham there in seat 6, he flopped a set of 10s against some guy's ace-queen with an ace on board, and the guy caught queen-queen.
Yeah,
Oh. That's kind of similar.
That's ugly.
Yeah, that's real bad. I mean, you just can't get your. I mean, that's just got to be a blow to him. I mean, I know he won $304,000, but that's incredible.
Right.
But it looks like he didn't. You know, it didn't destroy him mentally. He just kind of walked off and he was able to take it pretty well.
I always like when I can see, you know, players walk away like that.
Yeah.
You know, I would have been devastated, but
Raise here by Ken Berg with ace jack.
I would have
Frank
waited till I
calls.
got outside and cried.
Frank's got a top pair
Top
here
pair.
again. So Frank just lost 5,000. He's rebuying for more. Now Barry might be up now for the night. Just doubled through.
Well, he didn't quite double through. He only won, you know, what Frank had in front of him.
5,000. Right, you're right.
Yeah, so he didn't really double through. I would imagine he's only stuck a couple thousand.
But remember, that pot had been taken 4 ways for a $500 raise, so he won 7,000 in that hand itself. So he's up to probably 20 now. Frank's in a bet right in here, and Ken folds. So there you go. Got a live straddle here by Tim Pham, big winner for the night.
Make it 1,000.
And Frank is going to re-raise to 1,000. He's got pocket 6s. And everyone seems to want to be in a hand with Frank. And look at Pham. He's going to call with pocket 4s.
I got respect.
I mean, his pot is approaching that. I mean, we're at 3,500. We're at 4,500 now.
They're all
Pre-flop.
getting in. Okay.
Vic is still to act. He's got
Vic
Jack
has
deuce
Jack
of clubs.
what?
I don't think he's going to play with that.
No.
So we've got 3-way action. It's about a $4,500 pot. Here we go. Set of 6s for Frank. Now, I don't know if he can get paid off, though. No one really has anything here. He's going to bet.
He leads out,
Yeah.
just like you like.
He bets 1,000 into about a $5,000 pot, though. Pham calls. Pot is now...
And hopefully Tim won't hit a 4.
Yeah, pot is
He's
now
in
about
some serious trouble.
$6,500. Turns a king. That might get him more involved, Shirley. 4s might get more involved here if he thought his hand was good. Pot's about 6,500. And Frank's going to bet 2,000 here. Yeah, Tim thinks his hand is good, and he makes the call. Pot is over $10,000. And Frank is going to move all in here blind. About 1,100. And the river's a 6, and he's made quads.
Not that he needed it. Overkill.
You can't call.
And look at this. Tim folds at the end. He folds it. Wow.
He was getting the right price, too. I'm kidding.
Well, Well, I mean,
Not a bad play.
it is a little. I mean, he called the turn.
Yeah, but when Frank bet blind, he knew.
Well, actually, well, excuse me, the 4's got counterfeit. That's what I didn't realize there. King
Well,
and
it's
sixes.
not only that, but Frank bet blind.
Yeah.
I mean, when Frank doesn't show that kind of stuff.
But
Frank is similar to Ed in the fact he calls a lot.
Again, I didn't pick it up there. Of course, people who are new to Texas Hold'em.
Right.
He didn't play. He plays. He's got 4
He has a 4
kings and
kicker.
sixes.
Yeah, he has a
got
4
killed.
kicker.
He got killed at the end. He doesn't beat any card. So that's why he had to fold there. I was like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. He just folded right away, and then I realized it there at the end. Got counterfeit.
The base has been correct yesterday?
Button is in seat 4.
All right. Now you just play with. I'm not chipping when I would have.
And the pot is limped around here.
I'm in. I'm gonna have some problems.
Queen
Check.
7-10.
I'm gonna check anyway.
Look at this, Frank Mariani. He's bought bottom 2 pair. The turn's a 6.
500.
Now he's gonna bet. Yoshi's open-ended here. Yoshi's gonna call. Vic calls in seat 3 with 3-5.
Wow. Yeah.
And we're going to see a river. And the river is a king, and Yosh makes it. He's got the straight. Frank's going to bet 500. See what Yosh does.
Yosh can get a lot of chips.
She's going to call.
Wow.
She's going to call. Maybe he thought he was going to... And now is Vic... Did
Vic
Vic call on the
like
turn
Vic is
to make
gonna-
a move? It's a third heart. And maybe, Yosh called because he was afraid of the backdoor flush. Let's see if Vic is going to represent hearts. He's going to raise it up. Now, Frank's out of there. That's a good fold there with 10-7. And Vic might steal this pot,
And
Shirley.
the one great thing is that, he has Yosh there, and Yosh will make laydown.
Yeah. Vic smooth called the turn. And he's representing hearts. I want to say that the pot is about 5,500, and I believe it's another 2,000 a call here. It's not a huge pot. 55 to 6,000 in the pot. About, I believe the raise is 2,000 more. So it's not a super, super big raise. It's 2,000 more. Vic is playing it like he represented that he made the hearts here on the river. And we've seen Yosh make laydowns. You're right about that. Wow!
There we go.
What a bluff there by Vic. And he shows it. He shows the bluff. We saw him do it against Joe Wynn last week with ace-queen. A $14,000 pot he stole. This time he steals that pot. And he doesn't do it all the time. He does it in very, very select cases.
Right.
When he knows that he can get people off of hands. Represents the heart. Yosh takes a bite of shrimp, but he loses the hand. And what a great play there by Vic. What a great hand.
Nice play.
Button's going to move over here to Frank Mariani in seat 5.
He had said he was a good player. He wasn't showing that he was.
Game is on now.
Although, you put that Jack-9 in one of the other players' hands, guaranteed that someone's not folding it, huh?
Yeah.
There's no bubbles on the live game.
We got a $400 raise here.
Another couple chips and you'll be fine.
1,200.
Some people can't
Ken
read
Burr,
eyes.
ace-queen. And is Frank Mariani going to re-raise? Ace-10 of clubs. He re-raises to 1,200.
1,200.
And let's see how Ken Berg plays it. He's got ace-queen. He's going to call. Well, if Frank can, show some initiative and keep firing here, he's in position. Chances are the flop's going to miss everyone here. King 10 deuce. He actually has the best hand. Ken's got a gut shot. This is unorthodox of Ken. He's going to lead right in. He's going to bet 1,200. And Frank's going to raise with second pair. Boy, these whales have learned something here. He's going to make it 2,000 more. Well, Ken's ace would be no good here. He would need to catch a jack or a queen.
Well, one or the other.
That's the only way you're going to win that pot, yo.
That $500 bet was...
That's the only way you win the pot.
That's it. I don't believe you did that. You're supposed to pay me
And
off.
look at that. Ken's he's gonna fold it there.
What you have, Frank? Ace King?
No, I know. I just...
10?
Yeah.
So we have time for a couple more hands.
I said one or the other.
That's why I dropped.
So we got time for about 2 more hands, Shirley. By far, Tim Fan, the big winner of the night.
Oh, yeah.
C6. And again, we want to apologize.
It's really nice to see. Look at Barry's. You can see it from the shot right here, but he looks even.
Yeah.
If not a little ahead.
Thank you, everyone, for sticking with us tonight. We've had some technical problems that people don't even know about.
Right.
Here, been going on all night, and what a game it's been. We missed about the first 15 minutes of the game.
I know, but the people that stuck with it, I'm sure that they were happy. I mean, it was a great, exciting game.
Yeah.
Why are you involved in my conversation?
I'm not involved. I'm asking you a different question.
Come on, pay attention. A lot of chips already. You've been handing your money away.
I know.
5 players.
Start off fast.
Nice drop rate tight. Your money's disappearing.
Looks like it was limped around here. 8-10-8 on the flop.
I check.
With 5.
You got a deuce too?
8-deuce-8 here on the flop. And Tim's going to bet here with ace-10. And it looks like it's the best hand here, Shirley.
Just missed.
Well,
If it comes an ace, you have that low.
Yeah, you can get runner. Pretend you're it.
And Tim's going to take it down there with the ace-10.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to see a straddled hand here.
9 again. That way you stay away from jokes.
And it's a collection pot.
That's all right. I don't mind being.
And I think this is going to be the last hand of the night, Shirley. So what action? Crazy action we've had tonight.
Yeah, I think he did. He just gave some bullshit about going down 10.
And it's going to get folded around to the blinds. I think we're going to do one more because I don't think this one's going to have any.
Yeah, this one wasn't worthy of a last hand.
No. Well, Barry raised. And Yosh is called. Blind against blind. Barry's got 7-10 of diamonds. We can't see what Yosh has in seat 1.
I can see a picture.
Listen, we understand where it's at.
Two pictures.
Yosh has got king-queen suited. Barry raised with 7-10 of diamonds. Yosh has got king-queen suited. Ace-3-4. Let's see if
Barry can follow through it, and we've seen him do it.
Oh, okay.
900.
Barry's going to bet here. Yosh is not going to get involved. So we're going to do one more hand. Now, unfortunately for Barry, he's got to play the collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
150.
So.
Let's go all in. One hand. All in blind.
Ali from England. So you see it all the time.
Button here. It's going to move over to C8. And this hand's going to wrap it up. Of course, you can join us all the time at liveatthebike.com. Monday through Friday from 6 to 9, we webcast cash games. Tomorrow night will be $500 no limit hold'em unrestricted. Look for some heads-up matches next week as well. You can visit Shirley's website at www.poker-babes.com. Check it out. And if you want to watch every show that we've ever done, you can sign up for the archives. Check out the archives banner in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. And a small subscription fee, $14.95 a month, gets you access to every show we've ever done.
Right.
Commentation with Barry Greenstone, Kenna James, Kathy Lieber. Some great quality. Well, the pot looks like it was limped around here.
All right, let me explain what I really
Three-way
want.
action.
On each side doesn't work.
8-9
One on
deuce with a
top, on
couple
the bottom is
clubs.
better.
With 400.
We got a $400 bet
I think
here.
that was from Barry with the open and straight draw.
It was. And he's going to
He
take it
just
down.
let out, and he's going to take it down.
So look at that.
Barry wins the last two
Barry's
hands.
Barry's a big favorite of a lot of the viewers out there. I think that we're big fans of Barry.
I
It looked
like
like
Barry,
he crawled himself out of his hole.
Yes, he
And
did.
it looks like he might even be up a little bit.
Right.
And so that's going to do it for us tonight. So again, thank you everybody for joining us. We made it through tonight. What a great show. Thanks everybody for helping us, people in the booth, and for Shirley Rosario. I'm Bart Hansen. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
I hated that $500.
Oh, you just cut it.